everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Black Spinner Music Vidcast. Today, Al's not with us today. Al is at a concert watching Baby Metal with his daughter. So we have Jerry Shandling here taking over as co-host with me. How's it going, Jerry?
Yeah, Scab Al is what they call me. But glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
And we got two other great guests with us today. We got Nate Atchison and Metal Mike from the Plug Podcast, Music and More. How's it going, guys?
It's going, dude. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure having us on. This is the first time. You could almost call this a crossover.
That's what Jerry and I were talking about. The Three Shots Down with the Plug Podcast on Black Spinner. It's
right.
Nice. I was about to say it's a three-way, but I thought I'd stop right there.
No.
Well, we all know here in the near future.
I'll take it.
Without giving anything away, it's going to be even more incestuous. And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to have a wonderful topic. Our top 10 plus 5 title tracks. Now, of course, there's so many different title tracks to choose from. So it's going to be interesting of how our list is going to go. But before we do that, we do a segment here called What's Spinning. So let's start with Nate. What have you been spinning lately, Nate?
I've actually been spinning a couple of things. When I'm not having to listen to Guns N' Roses and Megadeth and Black Sabbath because my co-host keeps picking all these topics.
I did not pick that middle topic or the first one. Yeah, the first one I did not pick. Thank you very much.
I've been listening to this a lot. This is Lost Circus. We saw them at the Nashville Rock and Pod Expo. You guys missed out. They did a killer set. In the middle of the set, they kind of came off the stage and showed us a music video of their latest single, which is not on this, but still go buy this album. It's just self-titled. It's their debut. 8 tracks. If you dig 80s sounding, hard rock metal with a modern twist is definitely the way to go. And
Were they there last year? I mean, this year?
This year, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were at the Rockin' Fest. They did a real good job. Now, I've also been listening to this a lot. This is the soundtrack to Rocket Star's Death of a Rock Star. If you're into things like Tommy, The Wall, the concept albums, the rock operas.
Yeah.
This is a great album. This guy is from it's either New York City or New Jersey. I've actually interviewed him on the Hanging with Bushy video channel. Took him 8 years to animate it. He did all the animation himself. Yes, Metal Mike, it's an animated movie that I love so much.
Whatever.
The animation is much in the vein of, this is going to blow your mind too, Metal Mike, of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, of all things. We all know my take on the Beatles. But this is great stuff. If you're into stuff like Cheap Trick, The Who, the Beatles, Bowie, stuff like that, this is real cool to check out. You can get this also on CD. You can also get the DVD or the Blu-ray at deathofarockstore.com. It's really cool. I'm not sure how many vinyl he has left. He only had 500 pressed in this original pressing. Comes with all kinds of cool stuff. That's why it's so darn thick. It is a double album. But I highly recommend it. Our good friend Ralph Vieira, he said he finally checked it out because I did send him the digital download of it. He said he thoroughly loved it. So pardon my language, but Dr. Fuck approved.
I will double check that. Death of a Rock Star.
I need to watch that.
I know. I sent it to you too.
I know you did. I know. I suck.
It's still in the can, huh?
I don't know though. You like it, so that worries me.
Dr. Fuck approved.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what else was Dr. Fuck approved? An album we just reviewed that you're going to be releasing here pretty soon.
Yeah, I was going to release it today.
You know what? That doesn't look. I love that guy, and there's many things. Just like with you, it's not like you and I don't always agree. We do agree on some things.
This is true.
But yeah. But no, I will say this: the preview I saw of it, I was like, well, that looks kind of cool. So I definitely am enjoying.
Great story, cool music. Oh, and lostcircusus.com to get that CD or vinyl album. They do have the vinyls on their website.
I will check that out. What about you, Metal Mike? What have you been spinning? Or listening to?
Well, besides Black Sabbath, because we're doing, in fact, my big brother Scapegoat, aka David Tyler, is going to be coming over tomorrow night because we're going to be recording with Bushy and doing our Black Sabbath retrospective in honor of basically their last show that's going to be coming up July 5th. As anybody who knows me knows that when it comes to metal, Black Sabbath's my all-time favorite band. And everybody in the Black Sabbath tree I absolutely love. So it's like, yeah, I thought what would be cooler than to do, and we'll just do a Remember the Sabbath, a Black Sabbath retrospective, and we're going to do it in 2 parts. We're just doing Ozzy era for now. Eventually we'll get to the other ones, but because of what's happening, we want to stay topical too. So that's what we're doing. So I'm listening to that. Then I had to listen to a really horrible record last week, but that's another story. I thought, we would get some female bands to love. And part of it's because I've been listening to these. There's some new CDs I got. One is a band called Crypta. They're from Brazil. The lead singer and bass player, who was sweet enough to sign it for me, it was the lead singer of Nervosa, another great Brazilian thrash, very extreme metal, but not like death metal, but pretty heavy. But this band, these girls, man, they bring it. They don't mess around. I saw them open for Hatebreed and Carcass about a year ago, maybe. Phenomenal band. I've been spinning that lately. The other one is a band from Louisville, Kentucky, I believe, called Savage Master. And this is their brand new album, just came out, Dark and Dangerous. And they are, Louisville, Kentucky. And they're fronted by a female lead singer, too, by the name of Stacy Savage. And I really dig them, man. I think they're really cool. They're part of what you call the new wave of traditional metal movement right now. I've expanded that to the new wave traditional hard rock and metal. And speaking of which, here's a band that me and Bushy saw open for Lost Circus. And I liked them as much as Lost Circus. I thought they were great. The lead singer, this little lady, just has a set of pipes on her. They're called Jane and the Killer Queens. And the name of the album is Fuck, Marry, and Kill. So check all of that stuff out. I think you can they have a website. You can get this off their Bandcamp. And I believe Crypta has a Bandcamp too. So make sure you check them out. And with Bandcamp, what's great, anything you order physically, you get a digital download of it for free for any of you radio. And I'm talking about somebody like me who does a radio show where MP3s are essential.
Right.
We're going to do a radio show. So there you go, man. That's what I've been spinning. Good music.
Yeah, cool.
See what I did there, Bushy?
Oh, stop it.
No, I like Lost Circus, though. They're cool. They're a good band.
What about you, Shanling? What have you been listening to?
Well, I just started a channel with our good buddy Joseph Staub about the band Styx.
I have to check these out.
I've actually been to the point where I'm actually getting sick of listening to Styx, but I've been digging all these wood and nickel era Styx, which is, if you're not familiar with them, they're awesome, dude.
Isn't that the original label they were on, Jerry?
Yeah, wood nickel. With John Serluski before Tommy Shaw. A lot of people don't even realize there was life at Styx before Tommy Shaw. But there was, it's really good stuff. I mean, I was late to the party with them because, you get into Styx, you get into their classic era, Grand Illusion, Pieces of Eight, and shit like that. But, Joseph's a cool dude, man. I love doing a show with him, man. He's a young kid, knows more about music than I do. So
he does, man. That kid is him and Travis Prada both, man. They're like walking music encyclopedias. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about music, especially the heavier side of stuff. But them guys, man, they'll even be like, I'm like, whoa, they just amaze me with their knowledge and their passion. Yeah. So, yes.
And I'm listening to the new Styx album, which is, I'm trying to like it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I really am, but it's interesting. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Absolutely fucking love this, man. Black Crowes and Jimmy Page, man.
Oh, dude,
that rules, dude.
That is good.
I actually have not opened this yet, but I just been listening to the CD because I don't know. When I get box sets, I kind of like to keep them pristine. I know it sounds weird, but I spent all the money on them. I don't even fucking listen to them, but I don't know. That's just the way I am.
Is that on
But-
vinyl, Jer, or CD?
Yeah. It's fine.
Vinyl? Yeah.
And this
I
is
figured as much with the size of it, but you never.
it's fucking great, man. I mean, what a combo! What a great combo that worked well together, man.
It
Yes.
really did. It was awesome. And I'm the complete opposite. I would have opened up that box on the way home.
I probably will.
just
I
to
mean,
just to pull shit out of there and read it while I'm at a red light.
Mark showed it to me, so I pretty much know what's in it. So that's
Yeah.
another reason why I know what to expect when I open it. So I don't know. I got like 3 boxes. I got the Shake Your Moneymaker one too, and I still haven't opened that. I've had that for like 5 years now. I don't know. I just buy. I don't know. It's the way I'm a fucking weird. But anyway, that's about it.
I like the cover of that Shake Your Moneymaker with the 2 crows in the front smoking. That's cool. I've always liked that little cartoon mascot that they got.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got a black shirt, Black Crow shirt, man. I saw him. It was actually the first show I think I watched with Dirty Honey, and it was after the pandemic, and it was awesome, man.
I went to that tour too.
Yeah.
That's the one where they did Shake Your Moneymaker
The
from.
the whole album. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Great.
Andy, let me interrupt real quick. How do I share this, man, and get this out there? I've been looking for it, and I'm not finding it anywhere.
Okay, right now it's only on my YouTube page, so I'm going to share it afterwards.
Okay.
I will put it on. I will share it to your page, and then from there you can do what you want with it. But right now, StreamYard has me restricted to just one place.
Oh, did you get in trouble?
Yeah, so I find it easier to start it at YouTube and then dispense it from there.
Gotcha.
So
Fair enough.
that's why you're having problems with that. Right now, if I had Al here, Al would be doing that while we're doing the introduction. But I don't want to, so I'll do it afterwards.
You're fine.
All right. Right now, I'm in the middle of working on a big project. So I have been making MP3s out of my CDs. So I've been going through a lot of different compilations. I've got a lot of compilations. I found one that I haven't heard in over 20 years. And the only reason why I bought it was because it said No Effects on there. No Effects is one of my favorite punk rock bands. And I told myself, well, you know what? I'll cherry pick the tracks off of here and move them over, because it had 24 tracks. I moved all 24 tracks onto my project that I'm working on. It was just a great, amazing punk rock I think it was from the 90s. Most bands I've never even heard of. But I went ahead and put out some more that I've been listening to. This one's called Thrash and Burn. This was a really good CD that came out probably in the late 90s. It's got bands like Prong and Corrosion of Conformity and stuff like that. And right here, I'm pretty sure y'all remember this when this came out. This was a double album. This was the concert for New York City when they did the 9/11 concerts. And Paul McCartney finished side 1. It's a really good compilation. I really enjoyed it. So I pulled a lot of stuff out of there. So that's what I've been going through right now. Is going through different compilations and different types of music and cherry picking stuff out of there for what I'm working on. So I really haven't been spending too much albums right now. Everything is my focus is on CDs. So that's what I've been doing. Nothing really new, but just stuff that I haven't gone through in so long. And
I don't have a turntable, but my twin brother Mark does. He actually collects vinyl, so I just kind of help him with his vinyl collection.
Mm-hmm.
I just use my MP3s and CDs. I have a huge CD collection, so I just kept buying CDs. I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of committed. So
yeah.
And like I said, buying the
I
vinyl, it's like I'll buy a record that I really like. And everybody's like, well, what are you buying that for? You don't have, I'm like, yeah, but my brother Mark does. And he likes a lot of the stuff I like. So, I'm always trying to find him something cool.
I have a record in my +5 that I'm dedicating to Metal Mark.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, no, because it's going to be funny.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
And that's-
God, no.
And you remember your conversation when you called him from the Airbnb? Along those lines.
Oh,
But that's
good Lord.
dedicated to Metal Mark.
Yeah, he's going to love you. Jeez. All right, man.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's get started with our top 10 plus 5 honorable mentions, which is how we like to do here at Black Spinner. Our top 10 plus 5 title tracks. We'll start off with our guests, Bushy and Mike, and then to Jerry, and then to myself.
Well, look, first of all, I want to say respectfully, screw you, this was hard. There's like a billion title tracks on albums. Like everybody makes an album, they have to have a title track on it. The first list I had was like 40. And I was like, well, that's too many honorable mentions. We'll be here all night. And some of us get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I whittled it down. And then just before the show, I ended up whittling it down a little bit more, flopping some stuff in and out. But I got to start metal, man. So start coming in at number 10. It's got my all-time favorite song by this band, but Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. It's my favorite Slayer record. That's my favorite Slayer track. That might be unpopular metal opinion, but it's really the album and the track that got me into this band. Killer stuff.
Yeah, I feel that we're all going to have different places where we started. And you know, a lot of times when we're younger, we would go straight to the title track. But this has to be the great song. This is what the album's named after. So a lot of times I would go to that when I was younger. So a lot of them do hold special for me. All right, Mike, what are you going to lead off with?
All right. Well, I mean, my list is all metal, and the only reason why I did that is, well, mostly hard rock and metal, is because after all, I am DJ Metal Mike, and I did that mainly to simplify things for me because I'm like, man, I'm going to be in the same conundrum as Bushy because there's so many great records that I love that are title tracks. I mean, you know, Tom Petty, there's a bunch of them, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to narrow this down, or otherwise I'm going to have like a top 50, and we don't have time for all that. So, and most of this list was pretty much intact from when we were supposed to do it before. I did make a few changes though. Originally I had System of a Down, Toxicity on here, and I had Crowbar's Time Heals Nothing, but the more I thought about it, there was just other things. Oh, and Slayer, South of Heaven. You know, even though Rain and Blood, but Rain and Blood is not really because it's raining blood in the album, so I didn't count that. But I started things off with the Mighty Motorhead, Overkill. That is my number 15.
That's your number 10 plus 5 honorable mentions?
Do you want me to give you all the 5 and then go to number 10? Or
No. Let's just do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then at the end of the show, give us.
Oh, okay. Well, number 10 would be Iron Maiden.
This is what I have to put up with, guys.
Whatever, man.
What?
All right. Iron Maiden.
Uh-huh. Did he freeze?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
All right, he'll come back in a minute.
He was like, which Iron Maiden?
Which one? There's a few. Is it going to match mine? Oh, I hope it matches mine.
I have a feeling he's going to do the debut album, Iron Maiden, I think. That's what I'm picking.
All right, Jerry, do you want to?
I almost went Killers, but the title track's not really a title track because the song's Killer.
True. There's some bands that had their title track on different albums, like Led Zeppelin's got Houses of the Holy on Physical Graffiti. That wouldn't have counted, would it? That probably wouldn't have counted, huh?
No.
But anyway, I'm doing my first 3, right?
No. Let's just do 10. Let's just do one at a time.
Well, my first one is from one of my favorite metal bands. Dude, absolutely love them. You know, I don't go a week without hearing at least one of their tracks. I'm going to go with Metal Church, The Human Factor. Man, what a great fucking song that is. The band itself is fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite bands, like I said. Huge Mike Howe fan of that era of Metal Church. Great song. And I'm sending you a Metal Church CD. I hope you like it, Andy. Because it's fast, but that's my number 10, Metal Church. I wish Mike was on because I've done like 3 or 4 free forums with him about Metal Church. So,
I'm pretty sure he'll come right back on. He just has to redo it.
I've only got one Metal Church album. It's the one that's got that door that's slightly ajar, I think. On the cover. There he is. You're on Black Spinner Circle.
Yeah.
You're live.
For no reason. There's not a cloud in the sky. but the power to the entire house is just done.
Oh wow!
Really?
Why? But I guess I'm not going to be able to do the show, guys. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You want to do it like that?
Andy said, "Do you want to do it like this?"
I guess.
We're wondering what the hell the Iron Maiden record was.
Yeah. Which
Number of
one?
the Beast.
Number of the
Ah.
Beast.
But I mean, I'm in the dark. I don't even have any. This is ridiculous, man.
All right.
I am so pissed off right now.
That's all right, Mike.
It's all right, dude.
We'll catch you next time, brother.
It's all right. I don't know. It just, I swear to God, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Hey, but if your power comes back on,
All right.
just jump back in.
Hey, Andy said, if your power comes back on, just jump back in.
Okay.
All right, and we'll catch you up.
All right, man. Later.
All right, brother. Bye. Andy, you're just not supposed to have the Plug podcast on here together.
I guess not. Man.
Just not meant to be.
Dude, I kid you not. This is like the fourth time we've tried to do this whole episode. This has been like in a month in the making. All right. What I'm going to start off with, my picks are a little different because I'm all over the place on this list. I'm going to start off with Jackson Browne, Running on Empty.
Nice.
I love that song. I love the lyrics. I like the way that he talks, when I'm 17, when I'm 21. And, it goes through a timeline that that we can all relate to, So, Running on Empty by Jackson Browne.
Nice.
Great song.
Good one. My number 9 is look, now it may sound dated to some. It doesn't to me. But you couldn't go anywhere when this track dropped and not hear it. I remember watching the Winter Olympics with my mother. She liked the figure skating. I liked the skating figures. But all you heard was just a brrr, and I knew what the song was. And of course, I'm talking about Europe, the Final Countdown. That song was everywhere, man. You couldn't get away from it.
No.
I know people don't dig it, but come on, the guitar solos in it are great. And Joey Tempest, I don't care. Amazing vocalist. The whole album I thought was great.
Is that John Norum on that one? Is he on that album? Or
Yeah.
Okay. I know he wasn't on all the Europe albums. He's a great guitar player. Yeah.
Oh, he's sick. Yeah. Great stuff.
Oh, well, it's, that was a part of our teenage years. Easy.
Yes.
It was all over the place. And then when they came out with a commercial like 3 or 4 years ago, it got new life. But I remember when it first came out, it was all over the place.
Yeah, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing it.
Yeah, with that keyboard intro, which everything came from Van Halen in 1984, that everybody else started going in that direction. I'm bringing up Van Halen because I'm in the middle of an audio book about Van Halen.
Nice.
It's by I forgot the author's name, but when he's quoting people that when he's quoting on the book, he changes his own voice. So it's kind of, I was like, what's this guy doing? Because he does a Michael Jackson voice about Thriller. I was like, this dude's nuts.
You're being ignorant. You're being ignorant.
He goes, oh, well, thanks a lot, Eddie, for coming in and just putting down a really good solo. I was like, come on, man. Just say Mike.
Hey, man, I am a Michael Jackson defender, man. I like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I love Mike. Come on.
Dude, I did not know that Eddie got no payment for that. He did it for free.
No,
Did it
he
for
wasn't
free.
supposed to let the band know either.
Yeah,
They
it
weren't-
was a secret forever.
Yeah. And the guy who wrote the book said that Eddie had thought to himself that what's the big deal? No one's going to find out that I was on here. Well, it became one of the biggest songs in the world.
Right.
With the
Yeah.
biggest album. He was saying when David Lee Roth first heard it, he thought someone was being a Eddie Van Halen clone. He didn't know it was Eddie.
Yeah, because Steve Lukather did all the riffs, and that's not Steve Lukather playing that solo. I mean, Steve
No.
Lukather is great, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that's not his style of a solo. So, yeah, something was off.
Yeah.
Jerry,
And
can I say, after working with you again, how great you look? I haven't been with you on camera in forever, and I've seen your posts on Facebook, but looking at you like this, man, you keep up the good work. You're looking
Yeah.
great.
Thank you, man. You know what? That means a lot when I get, when I get compliments, because dude, I mean, it was to the point where I had to do something. I mean, I'm going to be 54 this year. My A1C was over 10.
Wow.
I mean, I had to make a choice, and with help from friends and everything, and the motivation and compliments like that, I can't thank you guys enough for it. So
You're very welcome, man. I mean,
It shows. It really does.
over 100 pounds, man.
Great
So
work.
outstanding.
I got about 10 more to go.
In the comments, Adam NC wants to know, is Mike still using the KISS router?
Use a dial up.
All right. All right, Jerry. What's your number 9, man?
My number 9 is, now I'm probably gonna get rain for this. I'm kind of glad Mike's not on for this one because it's probably gonna give him a heart attack if he hears it. But I'm going with Black Sabbath. I mean, the ultimate fucking metal riff, and I agree with them, man. When you think about metal, you have to put Black Sabbath on the top of the list. So we know that song, we know that album. Need I say more? I mean, it's a fucking classic.
We should do another show where the band's name is the name of the album, and they've got a title track 3 times.
And this is their 6th album.
Oh,
Title track off their 6th album. Came out on a Tuesday in 1974.
Good Lord.
I think I'd have to miss that one.
And with that one, but my number 9 is going to be it is going to be an Iron Maiden one, but it's not going to be Number of the Beast. I'm going to go with the epic Power Slave. I thought Power Slave was a fantastic album. I love the intricates that they did with the guitars and all of that. The prog metal was really showing through, but they did it right. They didn't extend it for so long where you lost interest in the song. It was just, I mean, that album, those tracks were just so strong with an extra 2 or 3 minutes compared to what they were doing before, and it made a big difference. Now they're like adding another 15 minutes. It's like, come on. But Iron Maiden, Power Slave.
Don't make me hate that record.
There's no way in hell I'm going to ever hate that record. But
Love that album.
you can try, but you will fail. That album fucking rules.
All
And I
right.
love Live After Death too. People hate that album, but I fucking love it.
Dude, I think it's great.
I do too.
Oh, it's like afterwards people get together on the internet and start talking shit, and then people join them, and you're like,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm just not a joiner like that. Like I appreciate some of these people's shows, but I'm not going to sit there and agree with
That's
everything. Just
that
because
I love.
it's them.
I mean, that live album was considered one of the best of all time, and I was like, oh, I don't like it. Whatever.
I know it.
Made in Japan is good. Don't get me wrong; it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I would take a Live After Death.
I would take Live After Death too.
Yeah, great album. Too bad we weren't doing live records, huh? What are we on? Number 8?
We are number 8.
This was tough because all their albums have a title track. So I was like, okay, but what's the title track that can't go wrong with Twisted Sister Stay Hungry.
Oh yeah, that's a good song. That's one of my favorite tracks on that album.
Yeah, it's a banger. I mean, killer way to open the record. I mean, at this point, I can skip We're Not Going to Take It and I Want to Rock. I've heard them too much. But the rest of it's killer. Look, I even love Love Is for Suckers, the title track.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
for me, it was tough because Twisted Sister is such a banger of a band. But come on, Stay Hungry. Just such a killer tune, killer riff. Always great when you want to get jacked. Love it.
Killer album. That's a great album.
It is. There are a couple songs I have burnout on, but it's still good.
But songs like The Price and Captain Howdy and Burn in Hell.
Dude, D can sing. He can sing a ballad, man. You ever hear his piano version of "We're Not Going to Take It"?
Yeah, yeah.
With that guy with that piano, man, his voice is amazing singing that song.
I love The Price. I mean, that's one of my favorite Twisted Sister songs.
Yeah, he can sing a ballad. He can sing. Period.
Oddly enough, my favorite track on that record is "Don't Let Me Down." Killer tune.
Yeah.
That song.
I know, Love Us for Suckers, man. I got to disagree with you. And that was disappointing in my opinion. Just my
I
opinion.
love that album.
That was
Love
supposed to be a D solo album, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I like Come Out and Play, and a lot of people crapped on that record too.
Oh, I like that album. But I hear you.
All right, Gary, what's your number 8, man?
All right. I do like Theatric Rock. And I fucking absolutely love the title track for Bat Out of the Hell by Meatloaf, dude. That is a great, great song, man. I'm not a Todd Rundgren fan, but he made that song sing, man, with that guitar playing and all through that. Amazing.
Piano is redonkulous, keyboard, whichever it is.
Oh, man, just Jim Steinman and Meatloaf were one of those perfect connections, man.
Yes.
At a perfect time. It really was at a perfect time.
Yeah.
And they had a hard time trying to replicate that. Because it was just that moment in time that all the stars were aligned, and you had Todd Rundgren, you had all these other players that were on there that were fantastic. It was just
I got to see Meatloaf's actual very last concert ever in Nashville. Actually, I died like a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later. But I tell you what, he didn't have the voice at the end, but he gave 110% on stage, and I respect that. And he always put on a good show. I mean, his voice would want out a lot. It was hoarse, but man, he gave it all.
Oh yeah, he always gave it all. It always looked like he was about to fall down while he was walking on stage. But
according to some of his band members, he'd actually pass out backstage after the shows.
Oh, really?
They would just walk. They would just walk past him like nothing happened, because it happens all the time. It's like a usual thing.
They're walking over him.
I gotta tell you, I've never seen the Meat. But he played at the Watertown Fairgrounds in Watertown, New York. I forget which year it was. They were so loud because I didn't get to go. But I sat on my back stoop and listened to the entire show. And it sounded great from where I was.
Oh, wow.
And I was probably, I was 8-10 blocks away and heard it fine.
Wow, that was loud as hell.
Yeah, it was a loud show.
Wow.
I would rather hear a voice that's going out than tapes any day of the week.
Oh, easily. I love to see live on stage.
Yeah.
Big time.
Absolutely one of the best live performers in rock history, without a doubt. If you like the theatrical rock and roll.
Yeah. Come on, I'm a Kiss fan. Of course, exactly. I like theatrical rock.
I like a good show, man. Meatloaf will give you your money's worth. So that's my number. What was that, 8?
Number 8, yeah. My number 8, I'm going to go with Scorpions. The Blackout album off of 1982 Blackout. Nice. I love that track. I talked about it not too long ago. I had the album out. So I was spinning it a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, that's a great title track. Because it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. So Blackout by the Scorpions.
Nice. It's interesting how you guys are picking these. I'm picking these because the album to me is killer, and the title track just accentuates it. But I haven't heard a bad pick yet.
I picked my first 15, and I left it at that because I would have been boggling my brain for weeks when Andy and
let me see. This record collection over here, I had damn near all of them out on my floor. I was like, okay, we got to stop this.
I was going through all my albums I had on Apple, all the albums I had over here, my CDs, everything, even my fucking 8-tracks I was going
through. CDs over here, I'm like, no, Nate, stop. Just stop. Go with what you have on vinyl because you're going on Black Spinner Circle.
You got it, yeah.
So where are we at?
But there's so many. Right? We are at number 7.
Okay. So this is my favorite album by this guy. It's also my favorite song by this guy. We just mentioned them. We're talking about Kiss, of course, Ace Frehley, Trouble Walking. Look, I'm sorry, you 78 fans. You're wrong. This is the greatest Ace solo album. This is so good. Now, compared to those other 3 solo albums, I get it. I get it why you think Ace's 78 is so good. No, this is a definitive Ace Frehley album. Not a bad track on it. And Trouble Walking, man, that song just crunches. It's a great tune. The whole album is spectacular. 5-card stud, shot full of rock. Good stuff. Oh, plus the good version of whatever the hell was on Hot in the Shade. Hide Your Heart.
Hide Your Heart, yeah.
Great album.
What's the cover on there? Because he always had a cover
Now you got to have me opening stuff up here, Andy.
Oh, was that Do You Want My Love?
Yes, Do Ya?
That is-
The ELO track. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he really does a really good cover of that.
When I first heard this, I didn't even know it was a cover. That's how good that is.
Yeah,
And I wasn't like opening a brand new copy. It's just a
right.
record jacket.
Oh, dude.
Don't feel bad. I was opening something I didn't want to open.
Oh no, dude. Like I said before, I fucking open things in the store on my way to the cash register.
Yes.
I'm just already unwrapping it. All
I
right.
don't know, dude. That '78 album, man. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it's. I'm not criticizing your pick, but man, that '78 album was magic, dude.
I skip a lot of that 78.
Really?
Yeah, I love the opening track. Rip It Out, great tune. Speeding Back to My Baby's good. And then I skip, and then I skip, and then I skip. I pretty much skip all the way to Fractured Mirror.
That's a great instrument.
Yeah.
He should have left it there, though. He did like 2, 3. He did The Unforgiven by Metallica kind of with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That '78 album was probably because it was with me my whole life, pretty much. That's probably why I like it better.
That, and then you heard the Gene Simmons When You Wish Upon a Star, and then Peter Criss. Everyone's like, what
I
are
like
you
Peter Criss'
doing?
solo album.
I do now. I love it now.
Yeah.
And Paul Stanley's everyone crapped on because of Hold Me, Touch Me, which is actually one of my favorites on that album. But yeah, Ace was the best of those. But no, this for me is Ace's best album.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
All right, Jerry, what's your next pick?
I'm going to go with this band when they were a 4-piece and they were fucking incredible. I'm going to go with The Journey with their album Next, the title track for that. I love the pre-Perry period, The Journey. If you're not familiar with it, I recommend it highly. I was late to the party, like with the Wood and Nickel era of Styx. I was late to the party with pre-Perry Journey. But when I heard it, the instrumentation, Greg Raleigh, man, what a voice. One of my favorite singers. And then Neil Sean's guitar playing. Ainsley Dunbar, fantastic fucking drummer. And Ross Valerie on bass. They were a great, great, great band before Perry. Perry took him over the edge, don't get me wrong. But, man, before that, incredible album. So his first 3 Journey albums, man, listen to them. They're awesome.
Oh, yeah, I got that one on record. I love it. I think it's so good. The first, I just like that foray of like kind of jazz rock fusion that they brought with them when they left Santana. I really like that sound that they infused. And of course, they went on to greater things when they changed their sound, which, popularity,
I get tired of a lot of the Perry era Journey,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I never get tired of the pre-Perry era.
Oh, well, yeah, because you always hear the Perry era on the radio. You never hear pre-Perry anywhere except for our own homes. Yep, I get it.
I gotta say, with Journey, I'm kind of a casual. I like the hits. I have 1 or 2 Journey records in here. I've never put them on the turntable.
I've got a lot of their stuff, but the one that I always turn to is that greatest hits that they came out with, that red.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's why I play the most. My number 7. I heard the song this morning because it was on my list. I was like, "Is it going to make?" I said, "Hell yeah, it's going to make it." It's a great Southern rock jazz infused band by the name of the Marshall Tucker Band. And I'm going with the title track, Running with the Wind. Are y'all familiar with Marshall Tucker?
I know 2 songs from them, and that's all I know. I know, of course, Can't You See, and what's that one, Heard It in a Love Song or something?
Heard It in a Love Song.
Yeah. Other than that, I am not familiar with them.
Yeah, I will send you the song, Jared. It's a really cool song, man. I mean, it's 9 minutes of great guitar solo virtuoso.
I mean, Can't You See It? Can't You See It is a fucking great song. So I should listen to more of them. So
for so many years, I always thought that was the Allman Brothers.
Me too.
I really did
too. Yeah.
And then I started listening to Marshall Tucker, and then it came on an album. I was like, wait a minute, is this a cover? And nope. I mean, it's Marshall Tucker, and I never knew that. I just assumed it was the Allman Brothers because they just, it was that era of classic rock and the greatest era. And
That's another one of those bands I've never dove. I'm casual. I know their hits.
Yeah. I dove into them, and like 12 albums later, seriously, I've bought everything I can possibly find by them, from especially stuff from their 70s, because they were releasing an album at a time.
Right.
And they really hit a stride. And I've said this before, when the Allman Brothers were kind of losing their way and we lost Skynyrd, Marshall Tucker was right there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job of that. Really good job.
One of the bands that I see down at that Plum Hollow Festival, and Moonshiners Reunion Festival that I go to every year,
Right.
they do their own stuff, but when they do covers, that's who they cover is Marshall Tucker. They're big Marshall Tucker fans.
Oh yeah, man. The instrumentation by this band is fantastic. I think it's a dual guitar, and they're the Caldwell brothers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lost one in 80 and another one in 89. But yeah, man, just a great band. All right, Nate, what's your number 6?
Number 6, I'm sticking with the theatrical rock. Come on. Again, it's hard to find a bad song on this album. Love Gun, title track, opening song. Man, it's a banger. I love the tongue-in-cheek sexual innuendo. Great album cover. Everything about this is great. Plus, it has Plaster Caster, that I found out years later was a real thing that women were doing.
Yeah.
And that was interesting.
Sure.
I even like And Then She Kissed Me. I know a lot of people crap on that track, man. That's a good song too. It's a solid album with a solid opening title
Almost
track.
Human, Shock Me. I mean,
It's Tomorrow and Tonight. I mean, come on. Christine 16, which
Yep.
what is it with these bands in the 70s and 80s singing about jailbait?
I know.
I mean, couldn't they change the name to 18? Why 17? You could have.
When I saw Winger,
Weird.
I saw Winger a couple years ago. Like, sometimes I feel kind of cringy singing this now, but everybody loves this song, so I sing it anyway. So
I sing it loud and proud.
the world's just too fucking politically correct now. So
Yeah.
Think about Motley Crue, all in the name of she's only 15.
Right.
For God's sake, what is wrong with these guys?
Look at Elvis.
Yeah,
Right?
Marrying 14. Like,
Jerry Lee Lewis. man.
Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that seemed to be the thing back then.
In there.
Bill Belichick.
They were Southern. Well, Belichick, at least she's of age.
But the thing is that these dudes can have any woman in the world. They're all choosing, you know what, since you're part of my family, they're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, they're taking the old joke, why go across the street? We can go across the hall a little far.
It's like Matthew McConaughey said on Dazed and Confused. I get older and they all stay the same age. High school.
And these guys are all like, well, I'm a big star. I can't leave the house. He's got
Jeez. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. They did it.
Hey, it happened. It's fact. You can't,
but
you're not doing anything wrong.
But I was streaming the album Love Gun at work. When was it? Last week. Why was I doing Love Gun? I was doing it for a reason.
Rules.
Because it's awesome.
It was, but there was another reason for it. But anyway, a girl that works with me, she's about 25, and I was listening to Shock Me. She goes, "Is that all he says over and over? Shock me, shock me." I was like, hold on. He'll change it. But he goes, "Man, he really does say shock me a lot." I was like, yeah, he does. But
That's
she
called
liked
the
the guitar solo to it. She said, "Finally, a change." That's what happens.
That person must have been young, and you don't need that negativity in your life, Andy.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing over here anyway? Aren't you supposed to be over there? All right, Jerry, what's going on with you, man?
I'm going to go with this band's debut album because I think it's almost like a greatest hits album. Talk about Bad Company's debut album.
Oh, Bad Company.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, what a time. And fuck that band that did a cover of it because it was awful. Well, who's the band that did the cover of it?
I disagree. Five Finger Death Punch. I like the cover.
Punch. Fucking couldn't stand it.
I hated their
I don't know.
cover of House of the Rising Sun.
I don't know. Some songs I don't think you should cover. Like if somebody covered Stairway to Heaven, I might have to go and physically abuse them if they ever did it. But
They'd have to be really, really good. And I don't know what you could do to elevate that song at all.
Right. I don't know. Bad Company is such an epic classic tune. Some songs I just wish people would leave them. It's like somebody did a cover of Dream On by Aerosmith, shit like that. Just I don't know. I mean, those songs played to death? Yeah, but there's a reason why they're played to death because they're fucking awesome. So
There's certain covers that I just don't like. I like when Disturbed did the Sound of Silence.
I will say this: when Heart did "Stairway to Heaven" in that Lincoln thing, that Lincoln Kenny Awards,
Sound of Silence.
No.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that either. The Stained version.
No.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it's Disturbed.
Disturbed. That's it. Same thing.
Oh my God, that is amazing. My heart hurts. I am so sorry, gentlemen.
No, I just love Simon and Garfunkel so much, and I love that track so much. And then when they did it, I was like, ugh, like for real.
See, I never could get into Simon and Garfunkel, so I didn't really bother me much. But I hear what you're saying about a band that you like.
See, I like the Simon and Garfunkel, and it's funny. My daughter had never heard their version, so the Disturbed is huge at the time. Yeah. And I said, look, this is the original now. And I told her, these were my words. Look, it's not as good, but it's brilliant. You hated it. I was like, well, you're young. You don't know any better.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate these bands for bringing, keeping those good songs alive, I guess, to the next generation or whatever. But I don't know.
It was such a big hit for them, though. It was a huge hit for Disturbed.
Paul Simon, I always thought that
he sang the hell out of that song.
I always thought that Simon and those two guys were pretty stingy with their music. I'm surprised they let them cover that. So that was actually when I first heard that, I was shocked.
I was listening to XM the other day, and Ann Wilson was going through some of her favorite songs, and she was talking about that "Sound of Silence" by Disturbed because she said it's one of the greatest songs she's ever heard. I said, "Are you kidding, Ann? Are you kidding?"
Don't make me dislike Ann. I love her.
I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Don't dislike her. She's getting old. I mean, she might be a little, upset.
No, she's absolutely right.
Maybe her ears aren't that. Maybe it's wax buildup or something. I don't know.
I tell you what, I saw him last year. She was in a wheelchair, man. She still sounded fucking amazing, dude. So hats off to her.
Yeah.
Still.
So Bad Company, and we are at my number 6, and I am going to go with. I'm going to go with CCR's Green River. I love that song. I love that album. And you're right, Nate. I see how you're doing it. You're doing title tracks from albums that you absolutely love. Well, this is one of the albums. My favorite CCR album is Green River. I remember when I found that on record, and I played it forever. That's when my collection was like 30 albums. And I would play that one over and over. And it's still one of my favorites. So Green River by CCR.
Great album. Mine's Cosmos Factory, but great album.
Yeah. Cosmos Factory is my number 2. But again, it's it was what got me started.
Sure.
To CCR, and then I moved here and there. But
I mean, my favorite now is Chronicle and Chronicle Volume 2. So.
Still to this day, I never heard of anybody getting sued for sounding like themselves. That's just
that's ridiculous.
What the fuck is wrong with people, man? I'm telling you.
That's how you know how dirty the music business really is.
Dirty.
Exactly.
Money matters more than anything. It doesn't matter if it's your brother or a band or a band that has to do with
Tom Fogerty in his dying bed giving his brother the middle finger. I mean, geez, man. I don't know what happened between those two, but damn.
Yeah, but they could have thanked John for writing, singing, playing guitar, playing the drums on the tracks, playing everything, and then
never start a band with your brother.
Yeah, right?
Kinks. Black Crowes for a while, but who else? There's a few of them.
It's been
Oasis. I mean, I hate them anyway, but
it's been ever since the Everly Brothers to the Kinks and so on and so on and so on. You know what? You can say that Van Halen might be the only one of the only bands that has brothers that did not fight publicly.
Publicly, yeah. Hailstorm's a brother sister. The drummer's her brother. So.
Ooh.
Hailstorm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the drummer's her brother.
Oh, wow.
So
Carpenters.
Yeah.
Think of that. I wonder what
they can't argue right now.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that was a sick cold. Take that
Wow.
back. Edit
Wow.
that
Come
out.
on, man.
Wow.
Come on.
Sure.
Yeah, edit that out. That was a bad one. I'm sorry. I love the Carpenters. Karen's awesome. One of the best drummers of the 70s. Don't care what
Wow.
anybody says.
Agreed.
Awesome.
Wow. Too bad I don't know how to edit, Jerry. So I'm sorry.
Don't ask me.
You can't edit live, brother. It's
You
out
said
there.
it.
You put it out there into the universe.
I'm gonna put
Hey,
it.
man, anybody with a sense of humor knows I'm not. I don't give a shit about political correctness. Everything is on the table. I'm sorry. It's just the way that I am.
No.
So
No, but when I post this, I'm not gonna put top 10 plus 5 title tracks. I'm gonna put Jerry said.
Jerry said.
but I'm a fan of the Carpenters. There you go. Don't edit that part out. So
No, Carpenters
I'll
are
lose a
great.
medal card for that every time I say that, but I don't give a fuck. I like what I
Oh
like.
no, dude. It's really come to fruition that a lot of people did love the Carpenters. And I think I said this the other day, or I might have been talking to my mom about this. Back in 1970 or 1971, there was so much turmoil in this country, all the way around, and people found comfort in the Carpenters' music.
Yeah.
It was a way to escape the loudness of the news, what was going outside their doors, a lot of negative music, and people wanted to turn that off and turn on something nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they sold so much in the 70s, was that, sometimes people need to slow down a little bit and calm themselves down.
They're
Absolutely.
that band that you don't want to, when you're younger, you don't admit that you like. You ever see
Right.
the movie Tommy? You ever see the movie Tommy Boy?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
When they're in the song, listening to the Carpenter song, they're like, I'm not going to
Superstar.
change it. Do you
And
want to
they're
change
crying.
it? I'm
Yeah.
okay with it if you are. Then they're singing it at the end.
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a great scene. I loved it. All right, what's going on with you, Bushy? What's your number 5?
All right. Number 5. Again, another killer album. A killer track that a lot of people never mention when they're mentioning this band and this album in particular, but Faith No More, The Real Thing. That's a dynamite, amazing song. Start slows, got some good punch. A lot of great music on here. It's the first time I really heard, other than Anthrax and Public Enemy, it's the first time I really heard a band incorporating rap into metal with Epic. It's great. It's great. It's great. The Real Thing. Check it out. And definitely check out Zombie Eaters if you're listening to the record anyway, because it's one of the greatest songs ever written. But The Real Thing's an amazing song. Mike Patton's vocals on that track are ridiculous. He just goes to the moon and brings it right back down, almost guttural. Good stuff. This was one that was an add-in today. This was different from what I had earlier. Earlier was going to be Quiet Riot Metal Health, but then I was like, that's actually called Bang Your Head parentheses Metal Health, so I pulled it.
That is a great album by
Agreed.
Faith No More. I absolutely love it. I remember when Epic came out, and they played it forever on MTV.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the rest of this sounds like. Wow.
It's got everything. It's got jazz. It's got acoustic. It's got rap. It's got thrash. I mean, it's an amazing, diverse record.
Yeah.
What's that song where the plot thickens every day?
And the people love it.
What song is that? What's the name of that song? Can't think of it at the
It
moment.
happened so fast. That's Zombie Eaters.
Indecision? No.
No.
I think it's Zombie Eaters.
No, that's Epic.
No.
Definitely
It
not.
was their
Epic.
second single. It was one rap.
The second single.
I'm somewhere in.
Falling to Pieces.
Falling to Pieces. That's a good tune. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that starts off with that bass.
They got a lot of shit for doing
Guys
that.
Are Dead, The
Commodore.
Real Thing. Underwater Love's amazing. The Morning After. Woodpecker from Mars. This is just a killer album. Yeah. Later on, if you got a CD release, it had their cover of War Pigs Live on it, which was
pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Is that the same? Is that the same version that they used to put on that Black Sabbath tribute album?
Of War Pigs? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the same version?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right, I think so.
You're talking about Nativity in Black, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the same version.
Okay. I wasn't too sure if that was a live version or not. I gotta go back to it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to see Metal Mike. You tell us. Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll call him later.
Sure, I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
No problem. All right. So what's going on, Jerry? What's your next pick?
My next pick is I get into a fight with my wife about which is the better song. Night Songs or Against the Wind, but by Bob Seger, but Against the Wind is my favorite Bob Seger song.
Oh,
Love
same.
that fucking
Same.
song. Oh, I love Night Songs too, don't get me wrong, but Against the Wind, man, if you're out driving, especially, man, by yourself, chilling, just thinking, man, that is that dude know how to get in touch with the average fucking Joe, man, the average person. And that song still to this day sounds fresh to me. I get tired of Night Moves. I get tired of a few of his songs, but that song, when it comes on the radio, every time, I don't care, I'll listen to it. Maybe if it's Zeppelin, I'll turn it off. But I love that song so much, and that whole album is good too. Fucking love Bob Seger, man. Happy fucking retirement, dude. You deserve it. Thank you for the great music.
That is one of my favorite songs.
Even Shakedown, I like from Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, me too. But
So,
you know, I was going to talk about this song earlier today, but I didn't want to bring people down. But I have to talk about it because back in 1980, when this came out, I remember my uncle had bought this album for my mom, which when I moved out of my mom's house, I took it. I've got it with me now in this room. But, you know, in 1980, now that I'm older, I'm thinking about it. You know, my dad died in 1980 and left my mom with a 5-year-old, which was me. And she was only 22.
Wow.
And how much she was going against the wind at that time, you know, because
Yeah.
my dad was in the hospital for 3 years, he was in a coma. My mom was there for 3 years right by his side. My grandparents would drop me off to be with them, like on the weekends when I didn't have school or preschool and stuff like that. But how much she was going against the wind at that time,
Right.
you know, and I thought about that this morning because this song came out. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Hands down.
And it's so cool that I could talk about this with people like you guys that, you know, that will listen to me. So thanks for
what's just so cool about music, man? Some of this stuff
Yeah.
you can relate to a certain part of your life.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about music.
I
Don't
would
care your
have-
political affiliation or anything. Everybody loves music, and we pretty much love the same music. And
Yeah.
that's what's so fucking awesome about it.
I was actually talking to my daughter about this the other day about what music means to me.
Mhm.
And, you know, the fact that I'll sit down and shut everything down, you know, I don't use it as background noise,
Mm-mm.
you know, because if it's something old that I grew up with, I get transported back in time. I can remember what was going on. Sometimes I can even smell smells from back then when you're listening to a certain album. And she's just kind of looking at me, you know, she's almost 20 years old, and music to her, it's just something to have on. She likes what she likes, but it's nothing that grabs a hold and, you know, grabs your heart. And it's like, okay, this is time stamped on your life now. And that's sad. And I blame that on streaming. I blame that crap on streaming because it's too accessible. It's too easy to get a hold on. You don't get to go to the record store and talk to Joe Schmo and his old lady who've been running it for 30 years and discover something because of the cover alone and take it home and just get taken to this other place. And that's a shame. And I hate streaming for that reason. That's why I won't Spotify.
You see, now I do stream at work because I can't take my shit with me. But you're so right. When people stream, especially the younger folks, they'll give a song like a minute or two and then swipe. You're like, it's like, it doesn't mean much to you because you're not understanding what it's about. A song can tell you everything you need to know in 3 minutes that it takes a movie 2 hours to do.
Yeah.
I'll stream something, and if I like it, I will buy the physical version of it all the time. Won't hesitate.
That's fair, at least. But that's because we're old and crusty.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But you're right. I remember the days where you heard a song, you have to go to the record store. Hey, man, have you heard this song? It goes like this, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, it's just
And then hope the guy behind the counter knew what the heck it was. It knew what genre it was. Yeah.
right. It
God, I
was
miss those
just
days.
it was. I remember buying albums at Rite Aid and shit like that. I mean, it was so.
There was
a cool
everywhere.
Yeah.
And radio was a big part of our lives which of course everybody has internet and radio and can stream and stuff like that. But if a kid turns on the regular radio, if they even do these days, they don't hear anything but commercials and how to hire a lawyer for a DUI.
Mhm.
It's just gone to shit, man.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll hear a song that you've heard a million times ever since you were a kid. They play the same shit.
Yeah. Everything's accessible. You don't have to use your brain much nowadays, and that's the fucking problem.
Yeah, I do not disagree.
You know, every time I see, because I work at a pharmacy, and sometimes I gotta work the drive-through, and it's a shame that sometimes I see a parent driving on their phone, and their kid is also on their phone, and another kid on their phone. I remember when I was running errands with my parents, it was time to talk to each other, find out what's going on about the day. You got the radio on, and you know, it was time to travel together to go run errands.
Yeah.
Today it's just so separate. It's
Well,
like
I mean, just that experience of having dinner with your family is very
Yeah.
rare nowadays. It really is, man. Things have
Yeah.
changed.
I remember I was talking to that 25.
And I'm hate sounding like that crusty old fuck, but
No, but it's
I
true.
guess that's what I am. I mean, I guess that's what I'm
We
supposed
all
to
are.
be. What we're
I
supposed-
don't
what we're
even
supposed
have
to
a
be.
dining room table anymore. I'm just as guilty.
Right.
I'll plots in front of the television. It's
Oh, that's what I do.
horrible,
all the
and
time.
I'm just as guilty.
Oh, I am too. Absolutely.
I was telling her, you know, she's just 25, and I was telling her, you know, I remember rushing home at 7:00. You know, every day we would sit down as a family and watch television together. We would watch silly shows like Who's the Boss, Three's Company, but we sat down as a family, and you didn't dare miss it. You know, you couldn't pause it, you couldn't watch it later. You had to watch it right there and then. And you
And the one TV in the house, and that's what
Yeah.
people are like. People are like, "What?" It's like, yeah, there was one TV in the
Yeah.
house.
and
I
y'all
only
sat
had
down
one
together.
And he had
TV
3
in my
channels.
house until recently. I have kept it that way forever. I wouldn't let my daughter have a TV in her room for the longest time. I didn't believe in it. When I got my first TV, it was my graduation present.
Wow.
It was a 19-inch, the old box square tube TV, and a VCR, because I was going off to AIT and then to whatever my duty station was going to be. Found out it was Fort Drum, New York, so I didn't go far. But that was my graduation gift, and my dad said, so you don't get bored in the barracks. Because we weren't allowed to have televisions in our rooms at all. We had one TV in the house. Now, we did have one in the family room downstairs for the video game, the Nintendo and such, but the cable and stuff wasn't hooked up to that one. That was just upstairs in the living room. So with us, it was sit down and watch the Cosby Show together.
Yep, we would watch.
That's how I got on my love of game shows, watching game shows with my family my whole
Oh,
life.
Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, man. You watch
Yep.
Jeopardy. If you feel dumb, don't worry. Here comes Wheel of Fortune. You can figure that out.
Price is Right. Price is Right in the morning. The best thing about you getting sick or being snowed in, watch the fucking Price is Right, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, watch
Hanging
that.
out with Bob Barker. That was my
fucking hey,
babysitter.
dude. That was it, man.
And Dick Clark with a $25,000 pyramid, and
Yes.
and press your luck, and all those. And now it's just, I mean, I don't know, what do they show on TV during the day? I'm at work.
Yeah, I'm at work too, so I don't know.
Jerry?
Well, you know, being the game show guy that I am, I usually start out at 7:00 watching Catch 21,
Okay.
and then the new $100,000 pyramid comes on after that, and then
Oh,
I'm
the
done
new
with my
one.
coffee, ready to start my day. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying retirement, but I hope I don't get lazy. That's my only criticism. But I can watch game shows. I love the game show. That was the best fucking channel they ever had, besides MTV in the early days of the Game Show Network. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I still like to watch the old-fashioned Password.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the old Richard Dawson Family Feud.
Yeah, me too. The one that he would make out before they would answer.
Yeah. Dawson was the
And
man.
Richard Dawson was a swab motherfucker. Everybody picked him on the match game too. It
Yeah,
pissed
yeah,
off the whole
yeah,
panel. We eventually had to do a wheel of the names because everybody would pick Richard Dawson. They said.
Richard.
Everybody else was getting pissed off, so they brought a wheel to spin for them to pick off.
Yeah.
Everybody else gave stupid answers, like Brett Butler. She was never right. Why the hell would you pick her? You got $100 in stake. You're not going to ask Brett Butler. All right.
Well, we were way off. Where the hell are we now?
I'm at my number 5.
All right.
Hey there, Jimmy. How's it going? Yeah,
Jimmy,
Mash
what's
is
up?
Big for us too. We like to mash. My number 5 when I listen to music, I don't care about these people's political views. If they write a good song, they write a good song. I'm going to go with number 5, Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen.
Nice.
I really love that album from beginning to end. That's when he was writing about being young and being a rebel and, trying to acquire love, trying to acquire money. Those albums are so important to me by Bruce Springsteen. So Born to Run is my number 5. Fantastic song.
It's a good album. Springsteen, who I'm not a huge fan of musically, I'm not going to talk about anything else. He actually shows up in my honorable mentions.
Oh, wow.
Now, my number 4, you already mentioned, Andy.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, Power Slave. I mean, that's a killer song. Is there a bad song on this record? Here, let me look. No, there's not a bad song on this album. But you can go from the debut to, for me, No Prayer for the Dying, almost Fear of the Dark.
I love both.
And you don't have a lot of bad, but definitely from the debut to Seventh Son is the golden era of Maiden for me. But there's just something special about this album. There's something special about that song. I like that. I don't know what that noise is, that little growly talking thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be a mummy or I don't know what it's supposed to be. But I love the whole Egyptian feel of that song. It's a great tune. It's a great record. Young people, if you've never heard Power Slave, why? Go get the album.
Just put on Rhyme the Ancient fucking Mariner, dude.
Yes, and ride, man. Just
What
ride
a
that song to the 13.
I'm glad they're doing that one this tour. So that's going to make me even want to go see them more. So
You know what's really cool though about Maiden is that they really do stick to a theme,
Yes.
like they did with oh my god, what is that album I'm thinking about? Somewhere in Time.
Yeah.
With Eddie being the futuristic robot, they really stuck to that thing, just like they did with Power Slave.
Yeah.
And Number of the Beast and all that. Eddie was more than just the album cover. That tells you what this album's going to be about.
Yeah.
That's
Matter of Life and Death with the tank and the skeleton soldiers. That was a fucking bad. I think that was the last really great Maiden album. Well, I can't remember. Did Dance of Death come out before that or not? I can't remember.
After.
Yeah, that album was probably my least favorite Maiden album of all time.
I do like
even the album cover sucked.
The album cover sucked.
That's how bad it was.
It kind of looked like Master P album cover, but the album was really good. I liked it.
Make crack like that. That's all I could ever think of. A Master P. Ghetto dope.
I remember the WCW tried to bring him on in wrestling, and that just bombed bad.
Yeah.
It bombed.
Oh, that's funny. I disagree. The worst Iron Maiden now is Senjutsu, and it's one of the best Eddies. But look, I don't need no 21-minute songs. Okay, no. I hate prog for that reason. Rush Can Kiss My Hindquarters. I don't like that stuff. Power Slave. It dances with the devil a little bit at that 13-minute mark with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, because like some of that instrumental, I'm like, you could have cut 3-4 minutes out of that, guys.
But when they
I hear you about prog fans. I made fun of one Rush song. It was The Trees, and holy shit, I got crap for making fun of that song because I thought it sucked. I got like emails, text messages, certified letters, every fucking thing from prog fans.
They were upset with you.
Tell me why I should fucking like that song. I'm like, dude, it's one song. 99 songs out of 100 Rush songs I like, and I don't like one. And holy crap, I got my ass reamed for it.
Jared's like, wow, I've never seen a singing telegram. Who sent me this?
Yeah, right. A nudigram, which whoever sent me that was. I thank you for that. But
and they're singing.
My wife wasn't too happy about it. But
yeah. All right, Jerry, what's your number 4?
Oh shit, yeah, it's my turn, ain't it? I'm going to go with what am I going to go with here? Oh yeah, Draw the Line by fucking Aerosmith, man. Great album, loaded with great. It's not the best track on the album, but I love that riff. It's one of my favorite guitar riffs to play of all times. I mean, I think Kings and Queens is probably a better song. Bright Light Fright, I think, is better than the title track. But I'm not saying that title track sucks, but I love fucking Draw the Line, dude. So that's my
Nice.
number, whatever number we're on.
That was
Hey,
number 4.
nerd, do what us old guys do. We write our notes down. I've got my list right here. It's all
I'm
written
the
out.
same way. But I usually do. And Mark always says you should use your computer. This and that. I mean, look. Oh shit! I ripped them off. Never mind. I do write my own notes down. I do. I trust me. I do.
Well,
This-
I write everybody's picks down and I make myself playlists of what everybody's saying.
This is my podcast notebook. It's like my 4th one. So this is notes for every show we do.
You know what? We even have our own fucking code with cursive. I mean, kids don't know cursive nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah. but
My
check out
eyes
the
have gotten
Dawson.
bad. I have to do a lot of print these days. Nice.
Have you
That-
tried to write cursive
Andy.
lately? Have you tried to do cursive lately? And do you remember doing it? I mean,
Oh yeah,
you have to do it.
I can still do it fine.
Okay.
It's
I
just
can't do a Q or a Z worth of shit, but I can do the rest.
I've got to break out the old spectacles anymore because I can't read print anymore.
No, I write
Another
cursive
fact
at
of
work
life.
all the time. It throws people off because they don't know what a G is.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, yeah,
like, this is-
that's a weird letter.
I don't know what's up with that fucking Q. That
The
fucking
Q is like,
is the
why is
weirdest.
there a number 2? It's not. It's a Q.
I can have the number 2. It's just a little bit curly. Is all it is.
The Z messes folks up too.
The Z, yeah.
Yeah, the Q
Or
looks more like a
lowercase
Z than the Q
b.
does.
You know,
And they don't teach that anymore, do they?
they don't.
do.
My daughter, she spent a day on cursive in kindergarten or 1st grade, and they never did it again.
Wow. Well,
That and parallel parking. They don't do that
I
anymore.
remember that shit was beaten into our heads.
Yeah.
I mean, beaten into our heads.
Weeks of handwriting.
Yeah.
Weeks. With the lined paper with the perforated
Yeah.
line along the middle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
But we could cripple this whole younger generation with a manual drive vehicle and cursive handwriting.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, I can't drive a stick either. So
I could drive with Ed in a stick.
I know what to do as far as driving a stick. I just can't get the coordination to do it. That's my problem with it.
I wasn't allowed to get a driver's license without learning a stick. And
And
not
that's the
only
way it
can I
should have been
drive
back
it on
in
the
the day.
floor, I can drive a 3 on a tree.
And I agree, that's the way it should be. And nowadays, not much is really everything's automatic nowadays. But back then, yeah, I think it should have been. Yeah, I agree.
Most cars you can buy as a standard if it's their lowest model car, like you can get a Corolla as a stick. You know, you can get the Festiva, the Fiesta, whatever the lowest model Ford is, you can get as a stick. You cannot get a truck as a standard drive, a manual shift anymore. They got rid of those a while ago. I was upset. I was like, dude, a truck is where you want to have a stick. You've got to go back to the 90s to get a pickup truck that has a manual drive in it. It's
I
ridiculous.
used to have a Datsun that was manual.
Datsun.
A
Nice.
Datsun truck.
That'll confuse kids too. What the hell is a Datsun?
That's what
Yeah.
Nissan became. That's what became Nissan, rather.
And you can screw up a lot of adults by saying, I used to have a Lacar. Remember those?
Yeah.
A car. Who made those?
Lacar. It was a French brand.
Yeah.
I
it
don't
was-
know if it- They had a big Lacar on the side, the words. I mean, you couldn't miss it. They were like, I don't know, they were just the ugliest fucking cars ever. But
That's like, I remember a brand called Opel, OPAL, and nobody remembers that. Now, we may have seen those in Europe more, but I remember my dad wanted an Opel so bad.
Yeah, I don't remember Opel either.
Yeah, OPAL. Look,
Huh.
you could probably Google it.
You know, did that pickup truck, that Datsun that I had, I wrecked it because I ran a stop sign, and I wrecked this car that was going, and I T-boned him. T-boned him. And I felt
T-bowed
so
him.
bad.
T-bowed him. Would you do this?
T-boned.
T-bow bow?
And it was weird because I was on my way to go pick up a girl to take her on a date. I was running late, so I ran the stop sign, and this was through a neighborhood, and I hit this car. And I don't know for what reason they all jumped out of the car. They said, "Oh no, man, it's okay, just keep going." So I don't know if they were up to something or they were up to no good. And when I hit them, I was interrupting something, but they told me just to keep going. I said, "Okay." So I went and picked up my date, and she had to come in through the driver's side because the passenger side door wouldn't open because of the wreck.
Good Lord. Sorry, my cat's over here. I don't know if he's coughing up a hairball or dying on me, but I had to mute it. I'm like, what the heck is that behind me?
Good times. Absolutely great times. So where are we at to draw the line? My choice. I'm going to go with my number 4 pick off the Van Halen album, 5150. The title track, 5150. I've been listening to Van Halen a lot lately, actually, and I can understand the difference between the writing between Sam and Dave. Dave was way better, but when you got Eddie in there still playing guitar, it's fantastic. And I really like the harmonies on 5150, and I like the way that it's delivered. So 5150 is my number 4.
I am not a fan of that era, but I'm one of those guys that gives Eddie equal blame for the direction they went in. Not all Sammy. Eddie took them that direction too. So.
Oh well, yeah, of course he took him in that direction. That's his band. I mean, nothing was going to be done without his approval or without his lead.
And it started on 1984. You could hear
Sure.
that sound coming.
Yeah.
5150 is one that I skip a lot. I own it.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger OU 812 and From Lawful Carnal Knowledge fan. Not a big Balance fan, not a big 5150 fan, but it's not as horrible as some people would like to make it out.
You see, I prefer Balance of 5150 over those other two. I love Balance.
Wow, we're the opposite. That's crazy.
Yeah. But it shows that they were good at the time because we liked the different parts. Even though I think OU 812 Eddie played some of his best guitar there
Yeah.
on that album, especially not just the solos, but just his rhythm.
Yeah.
He really does do a lot of different.
That's the album with Cabo Wabo on it. I do like that song.
Yeah, it's got Cabo Wabo on it.
5150's got Summer Nights. I like that song.
Yeah, it's got Summer Nights.
That song I can actually picture Dave singing. I can picture Dave singing that one, actually. That's probably what it was written for. Maybe it was written before Sammy, but I definitely could have been a Dave song, in my opinion.
See, I'm the guy that prefers Sammy's voice to Dave's voice, and I know that's controversial, but I just do. I've always been a Sammy fan, so what it is.
His voice is definitely held out better than Dave's has, so I
yeah.
can't say that much.
And I want to say that Sammy does have a better voice, but just the attitude and the effort that Dave puts into it, it's different.
Yeah, do not disagree.
And I've always just liked both. It's like, why can't I just like them both?
Thank you.
So that's where I am.
No, I agree with you, and I just never cared for that era of Van
Yeah.
Halen. I like Sammy's solo stuff. I like Montrose. I like the Wobble-Rito shit he did. I thought that some of that was great. I don't care for the Circle or what's that band he did with Satriani?
Yeah, I don't care that much for
Chickenfoot. I didn't really care for that.
I like
either, but
Chickenfoot. That was different. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Will
I think it
Ferrell
was
on
just
drums.
weird. I mean,
Yeah.
MTV just put Van Halen with Sammy everywhere. You were constantly seeing it. And that For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album, man, it's like every song was a single. They were just hitting you.
Yeah.
It was
Get away from
great.
that album. Absolutely. I actually saw that tour. Actually, it was actually not bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that it's like, well, not it's like, I mean, there were more that they sold more with Sammy,
Dave.
I think. I mean, they became bigger. They became worldwide.
They had more number ones with Sammy, but they sold more with Dave. I'm not sure how that works, but if you look all that up,
Yeah.
the Dave albums sold more, but the Sammy albums were more popular. Go figure.
So Sammy did what, 4 albums?
4 albums, and then they got
And
Gary
Dave was
Sharon,
the-
and that was just garbage.
Which one? Oh yeah, that Van Halen 3. They should have just.
I actually like it.
Oh, come on.
I did not. Here's another unpopular. I did not like A Different Kind of Truth either. I did not care for that album.
See, I liked A Different Kind of Truth a
I
lot.
did too. I really think
Probably
that,
because they started out with Tattoo and I absolutely fucking hate that song. So
I
I
like
don't think
that
I can
song a lot.
recover from that song. So
I like that song.
See,
I really
like
think that
stupid song too.
Wolfie pushed Eddie because Eddie played his ass off on that album. He really did.
Yeah, there's some good stuff, man. Honey Baby Sweetie Doll rips.
Ooh.
That's a good album.
The thing is,
I'm sorry.
I think Roth's voice is a little.
And
Well, listen to that live album they did after that.
Oh God, I bought that live album. Yeah, that live
The
album.
Tokyo Dome album. Holy crap, he
Ooh.
sounded terrible on that one.
About the only part that sounded good was when he was talking Japanese to the crowd. That was like the only time he sounded okay. Konnichiwa. What? All right, number 3.
All right, here we're getting into some real meat and potato stuff. These are important albums, I think, to me and to music in general. This one here, this launched a solo career. Not a bad track on the album. Truly, the title track describes what you're about to get into, but I'm talking about the amazing Alice Cooper and Welcome to My Nightmare. What an amazing song, and it definitely sets up the record because, boy, you're taking on a ride with this one. You're from Devil's Food to the Black Widow, Only Women Bleed, one of his most beautiful and twisted ballads. Cold Ethel, I mean, come on, you're talking about banging a dead woman by a refrigerator. I mean, this is one of the most twisted records you'll ever hear. Welcome to My Nightmare is a glorious, glorious track that lets you know, buckle up, kiddos, you're in for a ride. It's a great, great song.
His first couple of songs that are coming out of this new album, they're very good. I'm very
the original Alice Cooper group stuff coming out?
Yeah.
They've been really good. I didn't like the second one as much as I liked Black Mamba, but it was still really good.
Yeah, it's like they turned back the clock. It sounds like it could have came out in 73 or 74.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's got the authenticity of that Alice Cooper band. And I'm like, wow.
Metal Mike and I talked about it, and we're like, well, okay, so he's got the original group back together.
Mhm.
Did they never learn how to play anything past the early 70s? Because it sounds like you could put it right back in there on Killer, or you could put it on $1 Billion Babies. I mean, this stuff really sounds like that. It's really, really good. I am excited to hear the new Alice Cooper group album. Because it's the Alice Cooper group. It's not a solo album. This is exciting as an Alice Cooper fan.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like y'all didn't buy new equipment because it sounds like it's.
I wonder if he's going to do some of that at Rocklahoma, man. I hope he does. I'd like to hear.
Yes.
I don't know. I know
Bring some of
that
the
Cooper
original.
and Priest are playing in Charlotte in September. I am really trying to get to that show. I've never seen either band. But Cooper's a lot older than Halford is. I want to see him before he's no longer with us.
Right.
Yeah, I would recommend you to go see that because I've seen them both several times.
I've seen Priest once, and that was a Turbo tour. That's the only time I've seen him.
Oh, lucky. It's my favorite album by them.
And I'm thinking of going here because they're coming in October, but I might be on vacation on the day that they're here, so it's going to have to be a last day.
I actually am on vacation in September when Priest and Cooper comes here.
Really?
Otherwise, I would have went. Yeah.
See,
But I'll see Alice Cooper with you in the end of August. So.
Oh yeah, because Jerry and I are going to Rocklahoma.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, I'm going on a cruise the last week of October.
Yeah.
So I'm really like, can I afford to drive 3 hours plus tickets, plus parking, plus beer, and not hurt myself too much with, maintaining your regular homestead, plus having money to go on this trip?
Right.
Because my girl and I are going on this cruise, and I guess we jumped in before realizing how expensive it is. So,
yeah, you got to buy like the drink ticket and all that shit, don't you?
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. We make our last payment. Thank God these cruises let you pay monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make our last payment July 10th. It's the last payment, and then we got to buy the drink package. And as we're looking at everything, and of course, this is how they get you. You can't just one buy it. If one buys it in the cabin, you both got to buy it.
Yep.
So it's like you're looking at it, and it's like, well, you got the Premier, which gives you these sodas, but the regular gives you these sodas, and the Premier gives you these alcohols. And I'm like, what does that mean? I get a Sam's Club Cola and not a Coca-Cola?
Right.
Pretty much.
Premier, because damn it, then I got to get the Premier because I got to have good coffee. I got to have a Coca-Cola. And when I get a rum and Coke, I don't want some like $5 rock gut rum and Coke. I'm going to want a Captain Morgan and Coke.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're looking at about another $1,000 right there on top of the $4,000 that we're spending on just the boat ride.
Oh, I love the cruise. I mean, I love going. We did the fucking Yucatan and Progreso and what was the other? It was like a 5-day tour out of New Orleans on Carnival. It was such a great time. I mean,
I've never been on one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to a lot of the music. It's a country cruise, but she's a country girl.
Okay.
Trace Adkins is the headliner. I like the honky tonk, ba donk 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 song. That's all I know by that dude.
Okay.
But a band that I follow, he's a regional band, or they're a regional band, and I've been singing their praises for years. I've talked about them on the radio. I've played their stuff on the radio on that metal station. So I've talked about them on the podcast. They're called Dirty Grass Soul. They're an amazing band that I would love to see make it, but I see them twice a year, every year, and then we're going to see them on this cruise.
Okay.
oh, that's awesome.
That's
a country
the whole
themed cruise.
reason I'm going. They have like 50 acts playing. I said, babe, I'm
Okay.
going to go see Dirty Grass Soul. You can go see all that redneck noise you want.
Right.
If I get drunk enough, I'll stagger in. But I don't care about country the way she does. That's her thing. But she came to Rockin' Pot and had an absolute blast. In fact, that band Lost Circus, she liked them so much she bought a hoodie. And when we were leaving Nashville Sunday, she played them for the first hour and a half on our drive out. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I tried to hook up with your ass, but you were
I know. I'm sorry about that. If you would have told me, I would have made time. But I guess you didn't plan on stopping in Cookville, though, did you?
No, I didn't. It was one of those, we were getting hungry and I was like, hey, there's a Cracker Barrel and you can never go wrong at a Cracker Barrel. And so I reached out to Jared. He's like, yeah, I'm like 10 minutes from there, but I'm not home.
I lived like 5 minutes away from that, but I was actually in McMinnville with my daughter that day.
Yeah, you were almost in Nashville.
Yeah. No shit. I could have done a circle probably. Yeah.
No,
But yeah.
I tried. Maybe next year.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be, you go to Knoxville or Smokies a couple of times, don't you?
We go to Pigeon Forge every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when you go, man. I'll try to hook up with you then. That's not,
All
that's
right,
not
cool.
too far from me. It's about an hour.
I've been to
drive.
Pigeon Forge. It's nice there. We stayed in Townsend when we went.
That's actually where I'm going on vacation. Actually, in Townsend.
Oh, Townsend.
It's
Running
my
a
son. It's my son. Yeah, it's a hotel, but it's next to a running river. My son-in-law's family goes there for a family reunion every year, and they've invited us the last 3 years. That's where I'm going. So
No.
I really, during the day, they like sitting out in the fucking river all day, drinking and shit. I don't know. With people I don't know, it's hard for me to really get into. So I just stay in the hotel until dark. I drink, then I get drunk and go out to the yard area because when I'm drunk, I can talk to anybody. So
Yeah. When we go, we
But,
normally rent a cabin and it'll be like me, like my daughter went, she and her 3 kids, plus her sister, brother-in-law, and their kid, so we make it a big thing, rent a big cabin. But I took her up there for Mother's Day. We did the Hatfields and McCoys dinner theater show and had an absolute blast. I thought I was going to hate it, but she always wanted to see it. So I was like, okay, let's go see this thing. I had a ball, man. It's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
where'd you stay at in Townsend, Andy? Do you remember?
Say again?
We rented a cabin, a private cabin, where the main street is. There was a train, a railroad train museum, and you turn down the neighborhood. And dude, I almost got lost because I didn't get there until midnight because I was driving to Houston to Townsend, so I got there late at night. I almost drove off a cliff because there's no freaking lights out there.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
in the sticks, some
And
of
up
it,
here in these mountains, they don't have guardrails either. I haven't figured that
No,
crap
they
out.
have guardrails. What the hell's wrong with these people? They have lights or guardrails. And I asked my friend because it was me, my wife, and our friends that we travel with, and their daughter. Their daughter was 7 at the time. I was like, dude, can you get out of the vehicle and let me know where I am? Because I was trying to back up. He tells everybody, just get out of the car, please. I said, where am I? He goes, just go forward, please. Okay, that's all you have to tell me.
It's funny. I live in the mountains of Western North Carolina, so we got rocked by that Hurricane Helene. But yeah, all the roads are curvy. None of them are lit up, and there's no guardrails anywhere, which is amazing to me because if you go off the side, there's a 150-foot drop. It's ridiculous.
At best.
Dude, it was crazy for us to get to the cabin, and I was in a Santa Fe, in a Hyundai Santa Fe, which is a SUV, and I had a hard time getting there. So the owner of the cabin was going to come and give us the in and outs. I was like, man, I wonder what kind of vehicle this guy has, to get through the woods. Fucker drives up in a Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah.
This guy for real?
Yeah, these mountain people are built different, dude.
Yeah, he's in a Jetta. I was like, how can you even drive that here?
I live in these mountains and I drive a freaking Toyota Sienna. I drive a minivan, for God's sakes, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I get everywhere I got to go just fine.
What city do you live in again, Nate?
Spruce Pine?
Spruce Pine, okay.
Yeah.
Is that near Hendersonville? Or Asheville?
An hour or so away.
Oh, okay.
I'm by mileage, I'm about 49 miles from Asheville.
Okay.
But
So
I'm
you're
about
north
an
of it-
hour,
north of it,
hour
right?
and 15 minutes. Yeah, if Asheville's here, I'm up here.
Got it.
I'm an
Yeah.
hour south of Tennessee border,
Got it.
up near Jonesboro, Johnson City.
About the only parts of the Carolinas I've ever been to is to Charleston, which was a beautiful little town.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's nice.
We go to Myrtle Beach once a year, usually in September, like we're going again this year. So kind of a yearly thing, family thing we go to. So
Yeah,
Nice.
it was pretty cool. When we went to Charleston, we went to they've got a lot of military stuff, some old military stuff. So I was able to help them raise the flag at one of those forts that they have there.
Nice.
Because they asked for volunteers. So it's pretty cool to raise up the flag for. I think, in fact, it was for Fort Sumter.
Okay.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Spruce Pine is the only place. There might be a place in Siberia. And I'm not joking. It's the only place in the world that has the purest quartz,
oh, okay.
which is used for like your electronic, your chips and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of mining that happens in this town. So
Okay.
as pretty as these mountains are, you'll drive into some areas and you'll see like the mountain face has been kind of wiped away because that's where they've cleared out so that they can mine these mountains. They call it Mineral City, which is
Okay.
hilarious. There might be 1,500 people that live in this small town.
That's why I thought you were going to joke about the Siberia thing when you said that. It's like there's like the most vacant place in the world, except for maybe Siberia.
No,
Or
no,
like
it's
Siberia. is
it's
what I meant.
because of the quartz here
Got it.
that FEMA ran in so fast. Now they didn't
Right.
do much to help out here because everybody cared about Asheville because it's a city, and there's still a town, Chimney Rock, North Carolina, still doesn't have running water.
Wow.
So and that was back September 27th. Oh, I remember it well.
I remember you sent me
Yeah.
those pictures.
Yeah.
They just recently opened 40
Wow.
again. What, about 4 or 5 months ago? I mean, that.
Yeah, yeah. And when you
Awesome.
drive down it, because we had to drive it to go to Nashville back in April for Rockin' Pod, and you're still only on 2 lanes because there's still a whole part of that interstate that's gone. It was completely
Oh,
washed
yeah.
away.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That was a fucking bitch of a storm, man. I mean, nobody saw that happening.
No.
No, not up here. My buddy lives just outside of Charlotte. Actually, I know him from Watertown, New York. We were roommates years ago. But he's like, how did the mountains flood? It's dude, the water has nowhere to go but up. Literally nowhere to go but up.
All right, where the hell are we anyway?
Number 3.
You're
Jerry.
number 3, Jerry.
My number 3, Jerry. I am going to go with, I think, their best album, Highway to Hell by AC/DC, dude.
Oh, I missed that one.
Nice.
Fucking classic as hell, man. The whole album is good. I mean, we all know that song. What the hell do I have to say about it? It's a fucking great song. It's my favorite AC/DC album. Anything John Mutt Lang touches turns to fucking gold anyway, but that album
Yeah.
in particular was awesome. So that's my number 3.
I actually pulled High Voltage out of my list today,
Wow.
which is my personal favorite.
Because High Voltage and Power Ridge are usually pretty close in my opinion. But I go
Both
I
of
go
those.
Highway
That's
to
my
Hell.
1 and 2.
Oh, I got to go with Highway and Back in Black for me. Those 2. I
Nice.
mean, dude, if you listen to them back to back, it's like the perfect double album.
Yeah.
They switched singers.
That was one of the hardest shows we ever did. We had to rate those songs in order, with the best to worst. The Back of Blackout. Remember that, Andy? I think
Oh
it was,
yeah.
Was it a BS Sessions episode? I think
Yeah, it was a
Man,
BS
that was fucking hard to do. Man.
Ranking the tracks.
Yeah,
That'd
be
that
tough.
was hard. It was.
We got to do that again because it's been a while.
Yeah, that
since
shit's
we've
fun.
ranked the tracks.
Yeah.
I think
Sometimes
we-
some of this you do the same shit every now, it just gets monotonous. So it's cool
Yeah.
to change things up.
I'm gonna pick an album, and like Al says, well, there's thousands of albums we can choose from, which is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My number 3. We were talking about Judas Priest earlier. Which Judas Priest track am I going to go with? I'm going to go with the one that my stepdad came into my bedroom and ripped off the poster and called me a devil worshiper.
Oh.
Screaming for Vengeance.
Screaming for Vengeance. I knew you
Yes.
were going to say that. I took that up earlier.
Such a great album. I remember, dude, my stepdad came in and he ripped off my poster. I was like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, you listen to this music, you're a devil worshiper. I was all like, I'm an altar boy. What are you talking about? But yeah, Screaming for Vengeance, man, what a great album. I remember the first time I heard it. In fact, that was the first one I was introduced to Judas Priest that way. There was a couple of guys. There was a friend of mine. His name was Jesse. Well, I just talked to him like a couple of days ago. But his brothers were older than us, and they were big Judas Priest fans. And we were like 8 or 9. And I remember in '82, I was 8 years old, and Screaming for Vengeance was just coming out. So I was playing constantly at that dude's house, and I would hear it. I just thought it was interesting. So he made me. So the brother burned it. He made a copy of it for me on a cassette.
Yeah.
And I took it home, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was just so great. And then as I got older, as time went by, I went and started buying stuff from them earlier. But Screaming for Vengeance has always been one of my personal favorites because of that. And
Yeah,
also,
mine makes Priest fans mad.
oh, what? Turbo?
Turbo, but that was the first Priest album I heard.
Yeah.
As long as we all agree that Johnny Be Good is one of the worst covers ever.
I was listening to KK Downing's audiobook, and it was interesting because he was talking about Turbo, and he said pretty much what they did for that album. He knows that a lot of people liked it or didn't like it, but they were just going with the times, and in fact, they were introducing new sounds. Is what they were doing.
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
around.
Look, I like Mullet Halford. I thought it was the greatest look for the band. I liked the hair metal, glam metal sound of that album, even though it's not prolific throughout it. Parental Guidance was one of those songs because, much like you, Andy, I had a stepmother that we were Seventh-day Adventists, and she was rough. From sunset Saturday to sunset Sunday, you were not allowed to listen to, watch, or read anything if it wasn't Christian. So I caught a lot of flack. So Parental Guidance became my song to her, Of course, the live version off of Priest Live was, it had a little extra punch than the studio version. But yeah, Turbo has always been my favorite album just because I wanted to stick it to her. I was so angry you weren't letting me listen to my music, but that's how I discovered Stryper.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. You're all like it. All right. We're on number 2.
Number 2. Okay. Again, flawless record. It's already been mentioned here. I don't know if I could bring anything more to the table on that one, but Bat Out of Hell. It's a brilliant, brilliant song. I like it better than Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I know that tends to be the most popular, but my favorite song on this is actually 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, because that's one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever going to love you. Don't be
2 out of 3 ain't
2 out of
bad.
3 ain't bad. This is a brilliant record. And Andy, you mentioned earlier, it was right for the time. All the planets aligned for this album. It's absolutely amazing. But what a killer song. The guitar, the orchestration, the vocals, the solos, the story. It's an amazing song. It's an amazing album. There's a reason it still gets played on radio today.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in fact, 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad is my favorite song of that too. And I dedicated it to a girl. Remember when you were able to call the radio station and dedicate it? I just didn't know exactly what they were saying until we were both hearing it.
Cold-blooded.
She's like, what the fuck? I was like,
Yeah, one of my favorite vocals of all time.
I was like, I don't think they're playing the right version.
One of my favorite vocals of all time is actually "Heaven Can Wait."
Great song.
That is an amazing track off.
Oh, dude,
the whole album's good. Yeah.
I gotta hear that album soon.
Front to back. It's like the Boston debut. There's not a bad song.
Yeah, but that "Heaven Can Wait." That song is
And all I need is time until
the way that Meatloaf sings it. Just what's the word?
All
I'm looking
revved up
for?
and no place to go. Man,
Yeah.
just fucking great stuff. Dude.
The vulnerability of "Heaven Can Wait" is just
yeah.
so beautiful. And
And
He
nobody
conveys
wanted that album.
emotion.
Nobody wanted that album. I can understand it, I guess, because it was so fucking different maybe back then. But man,
The amount of emotion that man conveys vocally is just, it's ridiculous. He's an amazing talent, an amazing singer, vocalist. What a loss. What a loss.
But then again, no one else could have sang that album. Nobody.
No.
But then he couldn't sing anything else but this album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His vocals and his passion it was too impassioned for anything else but this album. Everything else sounded like he was overselling it or overdoing it or not being truthful. But here, he wore it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the stuff of Dead Ringer was pretty good.
Okay.
I didn't hate that too. I didn't really love it, but there was some decent stuff. I mean,
There was some real hidden gems in that record. Like "Life Is a Lemon" is my
Life Is-
favorite
Want My Money
track on
Back.
that album. You know, there's
Rock and
some
Roll
good
Dreams.
stuff, but
Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through was a great
oh,
song. That was actually
what
a
a
Jim
great
Steinman.
song!
That
Yeah,
was a Jim Steinman solo track actually before it was a Meatloaf. Yeah.
Have you ever heard Jim Steinman's solo albums or anything like that?
That's like I said, that song, if you know that song I just mentioned, there's a video of him singing it. It's just bad. You can always tell a Jim Steinman song. The way, big piano, whatever. I mean, you take like that Celine Dion song, what's it called?
The Power
sorry
of Love.
guys, a moth came in and my cat's losing its mind.
All Coming Back to Me Now.
Okay.
You can just tell that's a Meatloaf song. Making Love Out Nothing at All by Air Supply. You just tell that's a fucking Jim Steinman song. I mean, you can just
Is
tell
that really a Jim Steinman song?
Yeah.
Making Love Out Nothing at All? I didn't know that.
Me neither, and I like Air Supply.
Oh yeah, me too. I love that song.
Thank you, because I get a lot of shit for liking them too. So
Now look, I'm going to tell you, when I was younger, it weirded me out because my mom loved them. But I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, "Mom, this is two dudes looking at each other singing love songs. This is weird." You know?
Yeah, but they were Australian. That's okay.
I didn't know they were Australian, to be honest.
Yeah.
But man, what great songs, what great vocals. I can't
agree.
Good stuff.
And Jim Steinman actually wrote that Bonnie Tyler song too. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Total
He
Eclipse
wrote
of the
that
Heart.
one too,
Great tune, yeah.
There it is. That one. This
Love
is
it.
so good, dude.
Love it. That got a lot of spin time at my house growing up. If my dad didn't have Hank Jr. or Black Sabbath or Zeppelin or Pink Floyd on the stereo, my mom had Air Supply, Carly Simon, Barbara Streisand, the Bee Gees, Barry Manilow. I can listen to all that stuff because I
Christopher
grew up.
Cross.
Love Christopher Cross, dude.
That first album is fucking just awesome. Yep.
He also
Love it.
produced this, Jerry. Jim Steinman.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it said produced and directed by. I don't know what he directed, but yeah. Crazy. I had no idea.
Neither did I.
Big pianos, man. You can just tell that's Jim Steinman.
Produced and directed by Jim Steinman. Maybe there's a movie out there I don't know about, but yeah, it says produced and directed.
That's where the two dudes were staring at each other while they were singing.
Yeah.
I know just how to whisper. Yeah.
Here I am.
Great shit. That I don't
It
care anything
is.
says.
Now,
Great
now I got to do the Seinfeld thing. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just thought it was weird. In the 80s, it was a different time.
Exactly.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Dude, I
with it.
remember that concert they did. It was on HBO in the '80s in Hawaii. Air Supply Live in Hawaii, man. I fucking
Yeah,
watched
dude,
that
where
all
they
the
wore
time.
those leis.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
And
Great
in fact,
stuff.
Al just saw him like last month, I think.
Wow.
And he said
They
were
still sound good. I mean, they had to kind of tune down a little bit because that guy with the high voice is is losing it a little bit, but they still sound great.
Yeah, well, they're old, man.
Yeah, that's what I can't say. People say he doesn't sound good anymore. They're old.
Yeah.
What do you expect him to sound like? I mean,
Sure.
except for fucking Glenn Hughes. I mean, that's about the only one I can think of that still fucking sounds as good as he did back then. But there's a few of them out there. But
Yeah, I mean, these dudes are in their 70s. I fucking hope I'm not working at all when I'm in my 70s.
some of these guys are close to 80 now, man. It's not,
For real.
So yeah. All right, where are we anyway, man?
Number two,
Number
Jerry.
2.
Number 2. I am going to go again. We talk about politics. I don't give a shit. This is one of the best fucking tracks ever, and I'm talking about Uncle Ted with Cat Scratch fucking Fever. Dude.
Oh, Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah.
Dude,
Good
that riff
song.
is that riff, man. Just what a great, just a fucking great song. Great guitar track all the way through it, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, just fucking doesn't get any more rock and roll than that song, dude.
That's
And,
a fact.
and that album cover, the fucking madman himself. Just fucking awesome.
With the ladies' nails scratching across his. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's such a good record. How did Ted Nugent not make my list? See, this is why I stopped, right? I had every album on this thing. I've been like, my favorite title track is my record collection.
Right, there you go.
You're like, I'm going to stop at the M's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I said, I just wrote the first 15 that I thought of. I did not want to rack my brain anymore. So that's how I did it.
Well, the thing is that we had a month to do this, so I kept on going back and forth. Poor Jerry only had a couple of days.
Yeah.
But it's a
Oh,
great
wow.
list, Jerry. Great list.
That's my excuse. What about you, Nate? Man, what's your
When we were first going to do it,
Yeah.
I only had a couple days, and I was going nuts. And I had this list together, and I've got the original list written down earlier in this book because I refined it today. But it's like, man, I got to have stuff scribbled out. I had stuff written in over on the sides and stuff because I was just constantly like, no, this is good, and no, but this is better than that. And I hate ranking stuff like this.
right?
Oh, man. I love it. I think it's
It was a lot of fun, but I
Yeah.
was like, look, I'm doing this voluntarily. I didn't come here to work.
Here's my paycheck, damn it.
You're like, is this fucker's going to send me a check in the mail or not?
Right.
All right. My number 2 is going to come out of an album that I absolutely love, beginning to end. And I know that this song might be played out, but I don't care if it's played out. When songs are played out, it's because it's good.
True.
And I'm going to go with Eagles Hotel California.
Oh, fucking great song, dude.
I love that
Excellent
song,
choice.
that
How did I
album.
forget the Eagles?
Beginning to end, just from the first note to the last note on the last resort, just absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it.
Oh, Hotel California in the long run, there's not a bad song on either one of those albums, man.
Yeah, I've really gotten, I really warmed my heart towards the long run lately.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know, it's funny because several of these songs we've mentioned today, I actually had on a mixtape. I called it Epic Mood Music, and I had Bob Seger Against the Wind. I had Eagles Hotel California, and I had Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven on there. I had Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell on there. Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb. It was just a cassette I had mixed together of nothing but these epic, glorious, amazing songs. But they weren't all title tracks, so they couldn't make the show.
All right. Hey, we're up to number 1, guys. What is your
All
number
right.
1 track? First of all, before we get this, I just want to say how much fun this was. We were going
I
through our
agree.
songs, talking about music, and pretty much visiting with each other, catching up with each other. So this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I've had a shitty last couple of days, so thank you. This has actually put me in a good mood, so I appreciate it.
Good.
That's awesome. I was sick yesterday. I ended up leaving work early. I was good this morning. I took some Zofran, took care of that nausea and such. But yeah, and when I refined my list, now I will tell you, my number one never changed, never wavered. I knew that this was my number one as soon as you asked me to do this. But yeah,
I wonder if we're all gonna have the same one.
that'd be weird. But thanks for having us on. Metal Mike, you got something to say? Oh, my bad.
Yes, I do. This is fun. A lot of fun.
Now, my number one, before we get to our honorables, I don't know that there's a better title track out there. I really don't. Out of the thousands and thousands of title tracks, I don't know that anything can top this. I don't know that anything can top this guitar player. I don't think anything can top this album. And I'm talking, of course, about the Ozman.
Oh, okay.
Diary of a Madman.
Okay.
The classical undertones in this track alone are glorious. One of Randy Rhoads' greatest guitar solos. It's a creepy song. Ozzy's vocals in there are haunting. Ozzy doesn't get enough credit as a vocalist, and I think that's garbage. Diary of a Madman is my all-time favorite title track. Like I said, through all the shuffling through all my records, thank God I never started pulling CDs out. Through all of that, this has stayed my number one the entire time. Diary of a freaking Madman. Great song.
What we could have had if Randy was still alive. I mean, holy shit, he was a fantastic guitar player, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was he 22? Was he 21, 22? Something like that?
When he was with Ozzy, yeah, he was young.
When he died.
Oh, when he died, yeah. I mean, he was young because he was, 16 or so when he started Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, what an amazing talent. Sometimes I think those two albums were enough because you know how great he was because you're always wanting more.
Yeah.
You always have this question, what if?
Yep.
But listen to Diary, listen to Blizzard. That's enough.
Dude, the record flying high again, man. It's just, I agree.
Guy was amazing.
Yeah. You know, I always thought for years Blizzard was my favorite, but during the past two, Diary has really become my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Of the two, Diary's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
I think it's the maturity of the band that really makes Diary better.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry, what's your number one?
Well, for a minute there, I thought Nate was going to go my way because everybody knows one of my favorite guitar players is David Gilmour. But fucking wish you were here, dude. I mean,
nice.
I fucking just love that song so much. I mean, if you've been on the show with me, you know how much I love David Gilmour as a guitar player. His playing and vocals on that album are fantastic, man. I love his tone of his guitar, his feeling of his guitar. I still think Comfortably Numb is probably the best guitar solo ever recorded on tape or whatever the hell you want to call it.
I don't know if I'd be able to argue that with you.
All right. I mean, and he put it together David had that half of that song written, but the solo he did like in a couple takes. That's usually the best stuff, the first takes they do on stuff. But man, a lot of people give Gilmour shit for continuing with Pink Floyd, but I'm glad he did because I love Momentary. I love the Division Bell.
Oh, the Division Bell, dude. Unpopular metal opinion. My favorite Pink Floyd record.
Nothing wrong with that. It's top 5. I think it was top 5, both of us, Andy, when we did the Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah, definitely a top 5 for me. Yeah, it's like after the classic ones, it's Division Bell after The Wall, after Dark Side, and after Animals, and after Wish You Were Here. It
was the first album in a long time where all the members actually wrote on the album. So ever since this Wish You Were Here,
I think it's fantastic.
All wrote on the album, all three of the guys. But,
and because Waters doesn't want to be there anymore, that doesn't mean you quit the band, or just say Pink Floyd doesn't exist anymore. There's still guys in there.
Yeah.
And it's not like Gilmore was new. Fucker's been there like since '68. Come on.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the other two guys, I mean, come on, they're original members.
Yeah, Nick Mason's been there like since '64. What more do you want?
And it's funny because I don't buy a lot of physical media when it comes to movies and stuff anymore, because where are you going to put it all? So I do a lot of things on Fandango. But so I've got Roger Waters' The Wall.
I got that too.
But I've also got Floyd live at Pompeii.
Yeah.
You know, so you get the best of both worlds. You know,
Exactly.
you
Like
get it
them
all.
both. I tell you what, you go see Roger Waters in concert, you're going to get a fucking show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He might bullshit too much, and it pisses me off sometimes with his political rants, but that's just him. You have to expect that with him. But
That's what he does.
as far as a show, and it's affordable. I think I paid like $50 for like a mid-level to see The Wall, and it was just about what 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. His version, and it was fucking great show, dude. Worth every. I would have paid double the price to see that.
Nice.
But yeah, Wish You're Here is definitely my favorite.
And when people go, oh man, Roger Waters, he said this, he said that. How can you not know what's going to happen before you go? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, no, one thing about Roger equally, he pisses off both sides of the spectrum equally, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's an Englishman that's railing against the American way.
I mean, I understand why he doesn't like war. I get that because of his dad and shit. But
Yeah.
man, dude, he's out there. But
My only problem with any of that is, and I don't care which side of their aisle they're on. I don't care if they're on my aisle or the other aisle.
Right.
I'm not here to listen to your rant and rave because I get enough of that on the news. I get enough of that on social media.
Yes.
When I'm coming to the show, let me enjoy the show. I don't need to hear your BS.
exactly.
I wanna
You
hear
forget
you
that
sing the
shit
song.
for 2 or 3 hours. you
Yeah.
know?
And that's on both sides of the aisle. I don't care
Oh,
if I agree
absolutely.
with them or not.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it. If I'm spending this money to come see you perform, and this is where I'm going to be a dink, and I'm going to say, dance, monkey, dance. I just want to see you do your thing.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I want to hear you speak politically, look, let me shell out the bucks and I'll go see you do a speech. you
Yeah.
know?
One of the worst concerts I've seen was actually Don Henley because, first of all, it was a shitty concert because he only did like 2 classic Henley songs. The rest was his new album. I forget,
Oh,
I forget
wow.
what album. It was like
early
early 2000s.
Cass County.
I think so. It was one of those. It was just I didn't know any song off it. He did that. He did Desperado, and I think he opened up with Dirty Laundry, but that was it. The rest of it was new shit. And the other shit was him talking about fucking the state of politics. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Come on,
Yeah.
get over it, man.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even if you want to give a quick blurb, because I saw Ted Nugent when he opened up for Kiss, and what was it, the farewell tour?
he used to open up for him on Crazy Nights. He opened up for him on the Farewell
well,
Tour.
I saw him. I think it was the farewell tour. Skid Row, Nugent, and Kiss. And Nugent, he did like 2 minutes. He said something, and then he was done.
That's it.
You know, and it's like, okay, fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. I don't need to hear a 10-minute speech.
No.
Right.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
right.
Here, it's the only Floyd song I know how to play. The rhythm. Gilmore's solos. Look, I'm not going to even try it.
I'm liking them. I like
You
them.
can play him, but you'll never get that feeling of a David Gilmour. So right.
No, that dude's amazing. And I remember because I used to read a lot of guitar magazines when I was younger, and they were interviewing and they were asking about his tone. Like, how do you get that tone? How do you get that sound? And the only thing he said is, well, what you do is you turn your amp all the way to the point of distortion and just back it off a half. And that's all he would tell you.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, when you talk about pure emotion and feeling it, he's not fast. He's not flashy. He's just puts
those
emotion
chords,
in his
though,
playing,
man.
dude. And I remember we did our best solo. I can't remember if that was one of our shows or your shows, but even Al agreed with me that Comfortably Numb was the best solo ever put together on a fucking.
Like I said, it's hard for me to argue that. There's a lot of good guitar solos, but boy, Comfortably Numb is ridiculous.
Oh, it is. It's just so. It just reaches a euphoric peak. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because most of the time you hear that epic songs with a euphoric sound, but this he's doing it with this guitar.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just.
I mean, the whole song in general was
Fast.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I like because I like fast players. I like a blistering solo, but if you can get it done in 6 notes instead of 60,
Absolutely.
there's talent there. I'm sorry. There's talent. There's emotion. There's just something special in that. And Gilmore's a master.
Absolutely.
Great choice. Wish you were here. I love that tune.
Great album too. I love it. My number one. I thought that we were all going to match, but I guess not. Epic Song. One of the greatest title tracks of all time. One of the greatest albums, actually, as well. This song was released in 1986, and it still sounds as fresh today as it did in 1986. Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Nice.
Nice. You can never get tired of that song. It still sounds fresh today. The playing, the singing, it's just fantastic, man. It just when they break it down, they got that slow guitar going, and then it just starts ramping up, and it ends in a blister of a fucking tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah, those first three Metallica albums I never get tired of. I go back to them more than after that. I still listen to stuff after that sometimes, but when it comes to Metallica, those first three albums, dude, you're not going to beat that as far as thrash metal, dude.
Speaking of, I'm not a Metallica, but man, the retrospective of Megadeth that you and Metal Mike have been doing, it's been really good.
Oh, thank you.
I like them. I like them, especially those albums that I kind of didn't listen to, the ones in the 2000 to 2009 ones.
Yeah.
I went back and streamed a couple of them because of y'all's show, because I wanted to hear what y'all were talking about.
Yeah, they were. We were pleasantly surprised in a lot of it. Of course, Endgame. We were like mad. We were mad. Like I was mad at Dave for putting out Risk because I had turned away until Dystopia, and I mentioned that on the show, and I know Metal Mike did too, because there's some solid, good stuff in there. Yeah, we just dropped the final episode of that last week.
Oh, did you? Okay, I caught the second to last. I had put out a question on there, but do you think Risk would have been accepted better if it was from a different band?
I would like to say yes. I don't think it would have been accepted by the metal community.
Right. Okay.
Because
it's totally different.
It's just not a good record. It took me 3 or 4 tries to get through that.
Okay.
I love the song Breadline. That's probably the closest to like Euthanasia and Countdown, but everything else is just so weird. Man, it's rough. It's rough.
And y'all had mentioned on the podcast that it was more of a. It should have been a Dave solo album. Is that correct? Or is that what y'all think?
That's how we feel, because I know that there was a time where Dave was talking about doing a solo album, and Metal Mike swears Risk should have been it, and I'm like, no, that crap should have been shelved and never released. Super Collider, I could see being a Dave solo album, because that was a little bit experimental while still being a good rocking album. That Risk is garbage.
Yeah, again, that's Megadeth's a band. Those first 3 albums, I'll go back to them more than anything. I mean, Killing, Peace Cells, and
So Far So Good So
So
Well.
Far So Good So Well. Except for the Anarchy in the UK, I don't really care for that. But those first 3, even Countdown came after that, right? That was their 4th album, right?
Rust in Peace was the 4th, then Countdown.
Rust in Peace, then Countdown, right? Maybe 5. This first 5 albums, definitely, I'll go back to them a lot more than their later stuff. I did like their last album. Shit, what's it called? God, my memory's
Dying in the Dead.
Dying in the Dead. I thought that was better than previous stuff they were doing, but I don't know. Just about I lost interest in Megadeth, and maybe I should kind of rekindle that somehow.
Dude, doing that retrospective forced us to go back and listen to it, and we discovered some good stuff. Endgame is amazing.
Yeah.
Endgame is amazing. There's not a slow track on there that I can remember. That is a blistering thrash album, dude. It is great. I mean, it is great.
Yeah, Endgame. You should check out the podcast episodes, Jerry, because they'll pinpoint which ones to really focus on, and that's what I got from it. So
yeah, we were kind of like the songs worth checking out is kind of what we hit on. Yeah. But by the time we got to the final episode, it was more a quick review of each track. You know, this is good. Don't listen to this one.
Right.
But yeah, it's it restored my faith in Megadeth. It's like, okay, so after Risk, Dave pulled his head out of his hindquarters and started going back to his roots.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here, Bushy, and thanks a lot, Jerry, for pulling everything together real at the last minute.
Sure, it was easy coming up with 15 of them, but were they the right 15? I don't know, but something,
Hold on. Honorable mentions.
Honorable.
How can I forget it?
Yeah.
Do you want to just run through them all at once?
Yeah. Let's do 5 at a time.
Okay, so for me, this is where I go all over the place. Alabama Mountain Music.
Oh yeah,
That's a great track. I grew up on that. I told you earlier, Springsteen makes the cut. Born in the USA. Come on, that's a solid record. And remember, I only pick the title track if it's a record that I can get behind. This one's going to blow people away, and I'm probably going to catch crap on my podcast pages. George Michael, Faith. What a brilliant song.
Cool guitar riff. It's cool.
It's a good riff. It's a good song. It's a good album.
That is a very good album.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. John Bon Jovi, Blaze of Glory.
Oh.
What a great tune. And it's got a lot of great songs on that record as well. And then the posthumous release, the best thing ever released, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, The Sky is Crying.
Oh,
My all-time favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan song. And it did have an unreleased track in there, Life by the Drop is a great song. It's just him and the acoustic guitar. It's absolutely amazing. If you never heard that, pick up The Sky is Crying. It's an amazing, amazing album.
yeah, I got that one on CD.
I haven't seen a guitar player like him
Since
maybe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa was maybe close, but I don't know. Stevie Ray Vaughan was just in a league of his own.
Joe's great. Joe's technical. I think nobody has the feel Stevie had.
Sure, absolutely.
You see, that's what it is. Joe has a lot of flash. This had heart and soul. Big
Yeah,
difference,
and
in my opinion.
I mean Stevie Ray, he just knew that neck. And I've got his what's that thing they do down there in Texas, Andy?
What?
The show.
The
live.
Austin City Limits.
Yeah, I've got both of his. It's on one DVD, but it's both of his performances.
Okay.
What's great there is, your first 6 songs are him coked out of his mind. He never even opens his eyes, and he still doesn't miss a note. And then the next one he did, he's all cleaned up. He's looking great. And what is this, man? This is a guy that was taking a tablespoon of cocaine and putting it in his cup of coffee to get going in the morning. He finally gets cleaned up and dies in a helicopter crash.
Shit.
Oh,
Fucking
life
fate
is so
sucks.
unfair. So
Fate,
unfair.
man, is just-
Dude, imagine if we were able to hear him sober. Oh, man.
God, he was amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Amazing.
I
Because
got a lot of respect.
that second act on that Austin City Limits DVD is him clean. And it's brilliant. That's where he breaks his guitar string and just
Doesn't
keeps
miss a
playing
beat.
a solo,
Yep.
doesn't miss a note. He just moves up the neck because he has such knowledge of his instrument.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
rest
look
in
at
peace,
that.
Stevie.
They show that one a lot still on PBS.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got the DVD. I could watch it whenever.
I gotta see if it's on QB. I gotta see on that. What
QB
are your-
rules.
Huh?
Tubi is awesome. They have a lot of great shit on that. And Pluto TV, they got great shit. It's all free too.
Yeah,
Free.
all free all the time.
So
All
far.
right, I have
Yeah.
Crystal Ball from Styx.
Okay.
I love that fucking song. I have Don't Look Back from Boston. That second album is almost equally as good as the debut, in my opinion. I got Iron Maiden. Love that fucking song. I got Love Gun, and I have Tusk from Fleetwood Mac. Love that song. Tusk is a better album than Rumors. I don't care what anybody says.
What?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Tusk is a great
I
album.
didn't. Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. Okay. And Rumors is a fucking great album. So Tusk.
Yes, it is.
Exceptional. So yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath,
Nice.
from Black Sabbath. This is an instrumental from Frank Zappa, Apostrophe, off the Apostrophe album. And I did have Against the Wind by Bob Seger, and also had Harvest by Neil Young. I absolutely love Neil Young. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
So it was just which one am I going to pick? So I picked Harvest, and then Cheap Trick with Dream Police.
Nice.
That was another one I had. I absolutely love that song. It's a great album too. I think that's the one that is Gonna Raise Hell, right? Is that on that album? Gonna Raise Hell.
I'm a very casual Cheap Trick fan.
I'm
Like the only
I know-
album
I know-
is
I know-
Budokan.
I know 80% of the songs, but I couldn't tell you what album it's on. I know it sounds weird, but
Huh, okay. I think. Where's Al? Al, give us
Right?
a call.
I know, right? I know I've got Dream Police over here
I do
somewhere.
too.
I could
Yeah.
grab it if you want to know.
No, because I got it over here too. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Lucky for me, Cheap Trick is right here.
you did that on purpose. You knew we were going to be talking.
Oh,
You knew where it
I got the
was.
C's right here. And Gonna Raise Hell. That's what Inside One. Gonna Raise Hell. It's a really good album. All right, and that's it. Those are my 5 honorable mentions.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the BS sessions with Mark and Jerry, and another guest. I don't know who's going to be on with us tomorrow. Jerry, do you know?
Al's going to be on.
Al?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I was
I don't
going to
know.
say, not Metal Mike, because we're recording tomorrow night.
Yeah. So we're going to be making our own Styx album. So that's
God, you guys are
fun.
going to make me tired of Styx, man.
And I want to do this to promote
That'll
your.
never happen. One of my favorite bands.
So we're going to be making our own Styx album. And then next week, I don't know what we'll be doing here, but Al will let me know on Thursday, and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
What's going on with you, Bushy?
Well, tomorrow we begin our Remember the Sabbath, a Black Sabbath retrospective with Scapegoat, Metal Mike's brother. We'll be doing the first 4 albums this week. Next week, we'll be doing the last 4. We're sticking just to the Ozzy era. And then the week after that, I have Jared Miller, who is the frontman for the Plum Hollow Band. I speak so much about this Plum Hollow Festival. The Plug Podcast is actually going to start sponsoring this festival.
Really?
And yes,
Wow.
I am so behind this thing. It's 3 nights of camping in the woods with a bunch of hillbilly hippies. I know it makes no sense to me either, but you'll see more tie-dye at this show than you'll see at a Grateful Dead show. He fronts the Plum Hollow Band that was originally put together by Barney Barnwell, which is the guy that started the Plum Hollow Festival. Jared's going to come in. He actually toured with Barney, and Barney's been with the likes of like Minnie Pearl and things like that. You can see it all in the cabins that they have there to rent. So he made the rounds in the Nashville scene and such. He's going to talk about the Plum Hollow Festival. We're going to discuss the Plum Hollow Band. Due to family issues, he just stepped down from Dirty Grass Soul, but he was the drummer for the last 12 years. He's been the original drummer for Dirty Grass Soul. So we might touch on that a little bit. That's coming in 3 weeks. And since I release them a week after I record, look forward to that one in about 4 weeks. The Black Sabbath we're doing because Ozzy and Black Sabbath are getting together to do their final farewell, and they're finally bringing Bill Ward back onto the stage. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, we're going to dive into that, and then we're going to talk a little Plum Hollow, and after that, I don't know what we're doing just yet.
Hey, Jerry, on your Styx channel, Heavy Water 77, y'all just released y'all second episode reviewing the debut album. So when's the second? When's the next episode coming out?
We're going to try to release them every Sunday. Styx
Okay.
2 will be out on next Sunday. We just recorded that today, actually.
Oh,
Joseph,
okay,
man,
cool.
what a fucking, that guy's just so fucking of a genius. He knows his shit, man.
He does.
He
He does.
amazes me. Makes me feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. Which half the time I don't, but
Jerry, you're good at
he's
what you
pretty
do.
cool. But that should be out on Sunday. We're not gonna be able to do a show the week after because I'll be on vacation. But yeah, I'm having fun doing that, man. It's one of my favorite bands. I know people like Styx is one of your favorite bands. I just grew up with them. They're all around me.
Yeah.
Freeform with Mark and Mooger. I won't be doing a show because I'll be on vacation this week too. But we just did Megadeth Peace Cells. But he was buying that should be out in a couple of weeks. Other than that, we got 3 shots down. Kate's had a lot on her mind and she's been sick, so she's having.
Yeah.
We did an episode at the Altamont Free concert, that tragedy, that event that happened, which I thought was a really cool episode. I can't wait for that to be done and released.
Yeah.
But other than that, just trying to find shit to do, keep myself busy, man. Because the one thing about retirement that will make you die young is not being able to do things, man. You got to keep working somehow. So that's what I intend on doing.
Well,
That's about it.
Well, it sounds good. It really does sound like you got a lot on your plate, so that can keep you busy. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. Thank you for all the comments for Jimmy Schwartz and Adam and Will Toth. It's been great chatting with y'all. Thank you so much, Nate, for being here with us. It was a wonderful time. Thank you so
Always.
much.
Good to see you again, brother.
Yeah.
I think he froze. Yep, he's gone.
All right, and we missed you, Mike.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll come back soon. It's a shame that you lost power. Hopefully you'll find the light.
See the light.
Well, thank you.
Head for the light.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, everybody. I really did enjoy it, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you, Jerry. Bye, guys. Remember, keep them spinning.
Yep.